what is going to happen tonight.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to the fourth game of 6 here in the ICC Women's Qualifier Europe 2019. You join us from a gorgeous La Manga ground in Spain where the breeze is hard and it's very windy, but we got a very exciting game of cricket ahead of us. This is Scotland taking on the Netherlands here in the fourth game. I'm Ian Leggett and I'm your commentator today. I'm joined once again alongside former Irish international cricketer Ciara Metcalfe. How are you today, Ciara?
I'm great, thank you.
Excellent. I'm glad. Are you excited for this game?
Yeah, no, I'm really super excited. The two teams are just out warming up, and you can see there's kind of a level of intensity. They're all, zoned in, ready to take the battle on, and this is going to be the game of the day.
Well, we were talking about this just in the beforehand. Germany were playing the Netherlands in the morning fixture, and we saw a fantastic display of batting by the Netherlands as they put on 196 for 3, including an incredible century by Ster Callis, the 19-year-old, 126 runs from 76 deliveries, joint highest T20 international score in a women's fixture. Incredible knock there, and they got off to a win. But this game is all the more important. We're just going to take a look at the points table here. Netherlands sit at the top, 2 wins from 2, but Scotland will be looking to get the win here. Join them at the top of the table as net run rate might play a possibility towards the end of the tournament. Now this is all part of the qualification pathway to the ICC T20 World Cup and the Women's World Cup in 2020 in Australia. It's going to be a fantastic occasion, and this is an opportunity for them to get to the global qualifier and be one tournament away from playing in the T20 World Cup. How incredibly exciting is this for these teams?
Absolutely, and you can just see from the points table, and you just touched on it there, the net run rate. As you can see, Netherlands they've really gone up in the front there. So if Scotland can pull back a win here, this is going to set it up for their final meeting later on in the week. And it's all to play for here today.
All to play for indeed. Now these two sides did meet yesterday, and what an unbelievably exciting affair we had there. Scotland took on the Netherlands in the afternoon fixture yesterday. Scotland missed out by 8 runs. A run chase that went right down to the wire. Netherlands put on 123 for 8 from 20 overs. Scotland lost early wickets. The likes of Captain Catherine Bryce departed. Sarah Bryce had a bit of a stand. Becky Glenn had a bit of a stand. And Priyanaz Chatterjee at the end there trying to hit the winning runs, but fell short by 8 and lost their... Well, they beat Germany in the morning and lost their second game of the day. So it's all to play for. 2 top teams in this tournament. And what was the result of the toss, Ciara?
The toss was taken, and Holland have decided they're going to field, so they pushed Scotland into bat. So you just touched on the Scotland game there yesterday, and they were set a healthy total by Holland, and the chase was interesting. They lost wickets at vital stages, and also, I suppose, Holland gifted them 22 runs in wides, and they're turning their ones into twos really caught up on them at the end of the day because they fell, just short, 15 or so short. And today I'm looking to see from both teams. We've highlighted on this particular pitch that the ball is not running off the ground, and the ball, there wasn't many fours. You really have to get on top of that ball, and if not, you've got to take on the ones and twos, and it definitely proved to be the difference yesterday between the two teams.
Absolutely. Well, let's just take a moment to reflect on the incredible knock that we saw this morning by 19-year-old Ster Callis. 126 runs. If anyone was watching this morning in their game against Germany, an unbelievable display of hitting, well timed, well managed, found the boundary when she wanted to, but she looked in complete control. What a menace she might be out there today.
Yeah, absolutely, and she's definitely one to watch. We've highlighted her, but Scotland as well they have some really, really good players in their squad. So this is going to be really interesting. Stair's the one person at the moment who's definitely found the boundary. Just on what I was saying about the ball not travelling off the ground too well. This is going to be really interesting. As you can see now, they're in a huddle, and this means so much to both teams.
Yeah, it's a big game, and if Netherlands manage to get the win here, they'll be all steam ahead onto the final day, which is we're going to take a day rest, and we're going to have the final day play on the Saturday. It's going to be incredibly exciting because the Netherlands could manage to get the win here, as Kira's just making fun of me as a gust of wind hits my face. I struggle to get my words out here. It's very windy here at La Manga. But if Netherlands manage to get this win, they'll be in a very confident position to secure the victory in the tournament.
Yeah, and that spot that they're really searching for the global qualifiers. And that tournament takes place then in 31st of August to the 7th of September. So Scotland will be there already because they are hosting the tournament. Ireland, Bangladesh, Thailand, USA, PNG, Zimbabwe and Holland trying to search for that last spot.
Well, that's going to be on the 31st of August to the 7th of September in Scotland, held at Arbroath in Forfarshire. But first, we are in the heat and humidity of Spain right now in La Manga. It's a wonderful place to watch a game of cricket. The kind of terrain around, very emulant of what this region of Spain is like, and the apartments and the villas. Why are you laughing?
You like that word?
The rough terrain. Rough terrain. But we're seeing the opening batsers go out here, and it is going to be the Bryce sisters. A little change up. We saw Lorna Jack opening the batting with Sarah Bryce in the first two games, but it was low scores.
Ian, I think something we have to highlight as well. They've both had this be their second game. You know, they've had 2 games each 2 days. I'm muddling up my words there. And I suppose they've had lunch. They're coming out again. Holland played this morning. It's just getting your body going again, getting back into the game, getting your game plan switched on, and it's a tough call. So I'm interested to see how Holland perform here. They definitely need tighter lines and length for their attack to Scotland because they'll put them away.
Well, I am very intrigued to see how the Bryce sisters go about this. They've shown a formidable pairing they can be, and on the international stage, Forts back. That global qualifier last year in their 3rd place playoff. They put up a 100-run partnership. From Bryce got a half century there. They managed to win the game. Amazing display of hitting, but Catherine Bryce will also be keen to hit runs. She's departed for 2 on both her innings here. Only scored the 4 runs in the 2 matches. Sarah Bryce has shown her ability.
We should mention the Scottish supporters. We did walk around and one of the dads is not wearing his kilt from yesterday.
Oh, powerful shot, straight off the mark there. And is it going to run to the boundary? That's the far end, where it just struggles to reach, and they've just run back for 2. Well, any other ground that probably would have been 4 runs, but here where it's acting as a kind of buoyant sponge. The ball
nearly plugs.
It plugs, exactly. It just sinks into the ground, and by the time it should reach the boundary, it doesn't want to. That's 2 runs off the mark there for Sarah Bryce. And this is Iris Swilling bowling. Full of length and cut away. Stir Callis doing the fielding there. A deep point. Like you said, they've all been for tea, and suddenly the intensity rose for this game when both sides were doing their training. You could kind of feel the eerie bits of tension. They both know how important of a game this is. 2-0 here in the first over. Incredibly exciting. If you're joining us, ICC Women's Qualifier Europe 2019, Ian Leggett and Kira Metcalf on commentary here in La Manga. As flies come and attack our commentary position, and a big gust of wind again. Incredibly windy. The ground today. It's a wide ball here. This is Iris Swilling, 17-year-old. She did manage to pick up a wicket at the end of the game against Germany.
We highlighted just the wind is playing a part here with some of the bowlers. It's kind of swirling around us. It's not a set breeze, it's just swirling. It's a better line and length there. The two batters met the previous ball, and I think they're just highlighting maybe where they see a gap, or exchanging the information of how she's trying to bowl, which is always good to see batters do that up front.
Put away, just found the edge there, and
it's actually gone through the slip hand there. In. She just didn't time that right there. Snicked off, and I'd say that was a chance. Miranda, should I say, in slips, just didn't hold on to that one.
Now, both the sisters off the mark here.
Ian, just going back to the guy with the kilt.
The kilt, yes.
Yeah, he felt the wind would play a part today.
It's Kerry Scott's.
Yeah,
dad.
if he kept the kilt on.
Did he?
He actually said that to me. So,
like I've been saying, he was doing his Marilyn Monroe impression at some points in the game. Gotta love a Highland, bit of Highland dress. Yeah, they've got the supporters out here, as they always do for the Scottish women's sides. Flying the flags high. There's one actually, they've bothered to go all the way up. And our camera will probably show at some point. If you just see the flag right on the flagpole, they float it high, and it's also above the Netherlands one. So I don't know if it was a race to who got there first, but who knows if there was a little swapperoo as well. Excellent play there from the two supporters. And there's also a line rampant, as you can just see the amount of wind on the camera there. It's very intense. You're getting a bit of moisture as well on my face, just a little bit of. I think it might be bouncing off the grass. If the grass got watered, I don't know. It's the last thing I would have expected to feel.
What's wrong with you?
Oh dear. I always count on you, Kira, to tell me.
Keep it real.
When I'm being absurd.
Okay, so there's just a little bit of movement in the field here. Brought an extra person into covers. Just maybe, yeah, they just need to move around. That person might be sitting on their shoulder. So they've gone just for everyone's in the circle apart from a deep cover. I think they're really trying to force this wicket early. And a squeeze up the singles here.
It's a wide ball there. This is Heather Seeger's bowling from the scoreboard end here at the ground in La Manga.
Just mentioning that wind again, it's definitely coming into play with the bowlers, but she really needs to push that out wide because she's got a very strong. It's going to be a 6.
Big shot there, and that's 6 runs.
It's too short. Yeah, just mentioning she has an offside field here, a very strong offside. And she needs to make sure she's bowling to that or she will be punished, and that ball was on that case was too short.
Yeah, Sarah Bryce there. Moving on to 10. It's going to roll away for 4. I wonder if there was a bat on that. And they're sending wide 4. And there was a little bit of bat on that, and that went straight behind the hands of the longer wicket keeper here. I get the name wrong. Maybe a bit later. Another wide here. Heather Seeger's just struggling to find a line at the start of this game. Bit high in the end. It's going to go over the heads. The players square.
Good running between the wickets up front. Again, that rose on her a little bit. Didn't get fully on top of that. Just went over mid-wicket. but a very comfortable shot. It's funny, I haven't seen many girls in this competition come around the wicket or change up their bowling.
Push forward, and it's going to just find...
I definitely think this could be an option, especially with the field that she has here.
Wow, Sarah Bryce with the 43 runs so far in the tournament, and Catherine, like I said, 2 soft dismissals in the first 2 games. Push forward, and that's just going to find the fielder there. An extra cover. That's the over there, and it's a costly one for the Netherlands.
That's the start that Scotland want.
Absolutely. Well, after probably watching the Netherlands, what they did against Germany, they know that runs can be scored on this wicket. And yesterday we did see 22 extras from the Netherlands side. I'm sure they want to go and punish the bad balls this time and get off to a big total. Full delivery.
Much better delivery. Kept out by the batter, and I'd like to see the field up and about. Just letting them know that the bowler, they're with her.
Well, Iris Willing here going for the filler deliveries right on the toes here. I think that's a wise decision. We've seen in this tournament, the team seem happy enough just to keep running the singles. But with a couple boundaries so far already, I think Netherlands side just wanted to slow the run rate down here and just force the Bryce sisters just to think a little bit more. There's another wide ball, and already the extras playing a huge part of this game. Will the fact that this is the second game have anything to do with that, Kira?
It could play into that. Maybe just slowing it down a little bit. Everyone's going to have a little bit of an adrenaline.
Well, big appeal here. That looked like it was going to be going down leg. The back of the leg there. Just trying to push that one onto the leg side. It's Catherine Bryce. Early appeals, and that just was a sign of the unison of this Netherlands side, all jumping up at once. It's been a brilliant team throughout the early stages of this tournament. You can really feel the atmosphere, and I think that display against Germany was the perfect summation of that. Every single, all running in hard as well from all the positions. Even when the game was out of reach for Germany, they're going to run a tight single here. Direct hit possibly could have been out. That's good running there from Catherine and Sarah. Score 27 for no loss.
Just those mid-on, mid-off positions. I know some people like the long barrier just for an added bit of security, but it's an extra movement. You nearly want to be collecting that ball and throwing straight away.
We were seeing the one-handed fielding, receiving drills. A better over there from Iris Willing. 27 for nothing after 3 overs. Scotland off to a bit of a flying start once again here against the Netherlands. A decision to change up the top order there, bring down Lorna Jack, bring up Catherine. Is that maybe a confidence decision for the captain?
Could be, and I suppose they had a look at them yesterday and they know where their strengths are and their bowling, and there's many different things it could be.
Van Boha from the Netherlands. Also picked up a couple wickets against Germany. Was very impressive from that scoreboard end. Change up of pace. Impressed me most was actually the line in which he was bowling. Stayed pretty true to it. And we were seeing extras given out by some of the Dutch bowlers. Van Boha was very impressive. What's game we're seeing? They just cut away, and there is a fielder out there. Deep cover. It's going to be the single there.
I think both batters are using the depth of their crease well, just moving the ball around.
It's a sensible decision as well. It's the power play, so only the 2 fielders allowed out, and they've just gone for a deep square leg and a deep cover. Catherine Bryce played a lot of her cricket down in Loughborough University, and is just this year, just recently, signed for Loughborough Lightning in the Kia Super League. An incredibly exciting opportunity, Kira.
Yeah, there's so many opportunities happening for the girls at the moment.
See the wind pick up again. Cries for come on, Scotland. Just on the boundary edge.
Scotland.
Was that your impression?
I don't know, was that any good?
I don't know. I'm a Scottish person with an English accent, so I'm not one to talk. As I say, talk very poshly.
I think this is a good move. I think they just need to keep on mixing up their bowlers. Just make sure they get in the field and the correct fielders.
Well, I think that was definitely one thing they didn't do enough against Germany. One thing that impressed me about the Netherlands versus Germany in the last game was when the game was very clearly out of sight for Germany, the Netherlands still pushed on, and they still played very ambitious cricket, despite the fact that there was no winning possibility. They still hunted for wickets right down to the final over. Because we're going to see Carolina De Longe. Leg spinner here. Big appeal, and it's out! Sarah Bryce departs. Well, the 20-year-old leg spinner manages to find the edge there as Sarah Bryce straight into the hands of Babette Delayed. And that's the first wicket. 29 for 1 now. Sarah Bryce departs.
We've actually spoke about this keeper. Just about her stance is nice and her approach. A very young keeper, but I think someone that's going to grow into the game and play a part. It was a great take, and I think it was a really, really good move by the captain to change from this end. And I think that needs to be their strategy throughout this 20 overs, just mixing it up, not allowing the Scottish batters to settle.
Now it's going to be Becky Glenn greeting Catherine Bryce here. Becky Glenn has performed very well. She played a pivotal role in the run chase. Scored 35 runs in the tournament so far, but yeah, a wicket yesterday was a run out, confusion in the middle. Priyanaz Chatterjee.
Just even changing it up for one ball, moving the field a little bit, to go a little bit adventurous, try bring on that wicket quick. Instead of letting the batter just, get off the mark.
As the cut goes over the head of Delayed there. Kind of ducked below it. It looked like it was going to hit her right in the helmet. Well, Becky Glenn immediately. Caroline De Longe, the 20-year-old, been so impressive in this tournament so far. Fellow leg spinner, like yourself, Kira. Tries a sweep shot, and that's out. It's another wicket in the over. Caroline De Longe picking up 2, and Becky Glenn departs, plays the sweep shot straight into the hands of the fielder at point. And that's 2 wickets in the over. Scotland suddenly 29 for 2 in the 5th over.
Wow, and they wouldn't have seen this on the cards. Again, the young leg spinners just putting it up there and asking questions of the batter and picking up 2 wickets in 1 over is fantastic. Scotland have a bit of a hill to climb here at the minute.
Well, a flying start from the Bryce sisters, putting 20 plus on the board. And all of a sudden, Caroline DeLonge, bit of leg spin. Juliet Post, the Dutch captain, went for the leg spinner and it's paid off here. Kira fist pumps the air, fellow leg spinner representing
Leg spinners union.
your kind here. Well, I'm just seeing who's Scotland aboard on here. A little change up in the batting order. This is probably to do with the quick wickets. And this looks like it's going to be Priyanaz Chatterjee. Very well yesterday. It was these two batters that scored the runs and made the chase possible at the end there and brought it down right. And Chatterjee was right there at the end. And Sam Hago scored 26 runs from that innings. So, well, they're in a very different situation now as you just see the camera shaking in the wind. 2 quick wickets for Caroline DeLonge in this over. She's on a double wicket maiden so far. And almost finds the bat again. Chatterjee almost going for that late cut shot there, and
Scotland just need to see out this over. Just regroup in the middle. Just calm down a little.
push forward. And there's going to be a run there and straight off the mark. Chatterjee in and over. Looks for 2. And just the 1. Just switches up the ends. She's batting with Catherine Bryce now.
It's fantastic to hear all her team really rally around her. Young girl doing a great job.
Well, just the 1 there was almost a double wicket maiden. Figures of 1 run and 2 wickets for 1 over. That'll bring a smile to any bowler's face, any captain's face, any side's face. This is Scotland versus the Netherlands, the 4th game of this ICC Women's Europe 29 qualifier. So we have a guest joining us once again. Hello.
Hello.
We have Holly Colvin. How are we?
Colvin.
Colvin.
There we go.
I read that as a U. It was a V. Holly, how are you doing? Former England international cricketer and also head of women's cricket for the ICC.
Yes, that's me.
Well, welcome to Spain. How have you found it so far?
It's a bit windy today, isn't it?
A bit gusty, yes.
And it's certainly a nice temperature for me, that more than I'm used to in Dubai than England's been lately, so it's nice to be out here.
I'll just place that 1 round and I'm going to look for 2 here. Chatterjee very keen for 2 here. Just manages to grab that. And that's one swing we didn't see yesterday. Scotland looking for them 2s. They seem very content with just playing a singles, Kira, but I think after losing the 2 wickets, they're going to want to find as many runs as they can in this early stage of the game. So have you been impressed by the cricket so far?
Yeah, it's been like I've been watching it. Was watching on the stream yesterday on my way over, and obviously saw the game today. And I think the most thing that's impressed me the most actually was the change in Germany's batting today. I think it's been the key, because you can take that the first game, and get your heads down, but they kind of rallied and they looked at themselves and they really changed the way they approached their batting innings today, and that's been the most impressive thing.
Yeah, I think what was actually great to see, they've stuck around and they're just watching the cricket. You learn so much from that.
Big appeal here and another wicket. Yes, Chatterjee now departs. Scotland lose their 3rd wicket. That's 3 wickets in the space of 2 overs right now. Van Bolga picking up her 1st wicket. Wow. Now the situation looks very different as we see the umpire's hat blow off in the wind in front of us. Well, it's 3 wickets now for the Netherlands. They're looking in full control of this. Where do they go from here?
I just don't think they've expected this. But in fairness, the Dutch have come out all firing.
Well, you've played a lot of international cricket yourself, Holly. And your team has suddenly lost 3 quick wickets at an early stage of this. what will Catherine Bryce be saying to Rachel Scholes as she comes in? Is it just settle down, let's survive the next couple of overs?
Yeah, I think so. I think they're still going at a decent rate, aren't they? They're still, up between 5 and 6 and over. So it's been quite an exciting start to the game. Yeah, they lost a few wickets, but I think they probably just need to just get themselves in. Obviously, it's going to be the end of the power play at the end of this ball. So see if Netherlands decide to keep attacking or whether they let things go. I hope it's the former.
There's that intent in the field there. Every ball being chucked in hard to the keeper, and it's handshakes all round for the Dutch right now. They seem well on top. 32 for 3 at the end of the power play. So your role, Holly, tell us about it. What does it involve? It seems like a massive role. It's a huge title.
It's a really exciting time for the women's game, and it's great to be involved off the pitch. Now that I'm no longer on it. It involves kind of looking after the kind of whole of the international game, looking at the cricket structures, all the pathways, getting involved in the events, particularly the global qualifiers and some of the senior events as well. A few projects coming up. You'd have noticed stuff about the Commonwealth Games, big announcement, which is going to be really exciting. Hopefully that all gets signed, sealed and delivered. And an age group event hopefully will be coming up too. So there's quite a lot going on, which is great. And it's actually just nice to get out from behind a desk and actually come and witness some of the work.
Well, do you miss playing? Do you miss playing when you come to I ask Kira all the time, every single game. I'm like, do you want to be out there and play? Only when she sees a leg spinner like this, the form that she wants to play. But yourself, when you're standing at the boundary edge, do you want to get out there and put your pads on again?
No. When I hung up my boots, I certainly haven't looked back, and I don't regret it one bit. And I love the fact I get to contribute to such an amazing game in a totally different way, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I kind of came out at the right time for my own reasons, and I've been enjoying watching things unfold without me being involved myself.
Just seeing Carolina DeLonge again, performing very well. 3 dot balls so far in the over. There's a bit more of a gift there. And Bryce is going to slide that one away. Well, it's an incredibly exciting time for the women's game, like you said, and one thing this tournament is doing is opening the eyes of many people to the quality of cricket that is being played, and also the likes of Germany, who are new to the international scene. From your job and from your role, how much are you seeing the game grow?
Oh, massively. I mean, there's obviously Germany's new to this.
Could be another wicket here. Big appeal, and it's a stumping. And that's Rachel Scholes departing, and that's the 4th wicket here for Scotland. Suddenly 33 for 4 in the 7th over. Netherlands well on top in here in La Manga. Oh, wow, sorry to cut in there.
No, I'm glad I stopped speaking then, because I saw it all happening.
Oh dear, well, Scotland in more of a hole now, losing wickets fast. Caroline DeLonge performs another bit of magic, and a stumping there by Babette Delayed. It's Catherine Bryce, the opener, is greeting the batsman. Yeah, I think this is going to be Lorna Jack coming out, who was the opener yesterday, and is going to be stepping out at number 5. And anyway, growth for the game.
Growth of the game, that's what you're asking about. No, so there's the likes of Germany in this tournament. We had 9 teams competing in the Africa qualifier earlier this year, which is the biggest event we've had to date, particularly in that region, and it's properly, expanding out there. It's really good to see. And then our first ever, well, not first ever, but first for a while, America's qualifier as well, with Canada and USA taking part earlier in May this year. So it's expanding. It can only get bigger, and it's great to see.
I actually think that's the right approach to go about here, and maybe try sweep. This particular...
Lorna Jack almost run out. If it was a direct hit, it would have been out. Lorna Jack dove onto the front there just to avoid it, and that would have been another quick wicket there. With a sweep shot to get off the mark. Not the worst way, and they survived another end to the over there. End of the 7th over, 30. I'm just going to wait. It should be 35 for 4 after 7 overs.
Do you think the Scottish guy not wearing his kilt today has played a part?
Well, all the omens. Who knows?
Yeah,
You
like
know
the
what cricket's
little
like.
superstitions
Little
in cricket.
superstitions. Did you have any superstitions when you were playing?
Me?
Whilst
No.
you were before, Kira?
We're not talking
What
about this.
yourself? Was there any like? Did you have to put on one glove before the other, or when you started play? Because I know some players are very finicky about it.
No, as long as all my clothing fit me, as in it wasn't too long, or like the hat wasn't falling in front of my face, I was pretty happy. Like that was my issue.
No fuss.
Back
no
in the days
fuss
when
there.
we were handed the men's cricket
Yeah.
gear. Yeah. Did you, Ian?
Did I have any?
Or do you have any?
As long as as long as I got a game, that was my own thing. As long as the second team got a game when I was playing at school. And for Village, as long as everyone's sober on the team, or at least fit to play. Got away there by Lorna Jack, just fielded. Point. So what are the next steps now for growing the game further? So there's all these new sides, but what about getting them noticed? What about, a tournament like this, teams like Germany and France and Austria and all these sides in Africa? What's the next steps now in progressing the game even further and getting them playing at the next level?
Yeah, I think there's a lot to be done. I think obviously it's great that these sort of games are being live streamed now, being supported, and I think in terms of all of the top teams are getting televised matches, and it's actually how further down the pathway trying to promote those games and trying to get local interest there.
That's a boundary there for Catherine Bright. She's just pushed away onto the leg side, went square, lovely shot, came out the middle of the bat. You heard the ping there.
I think there's just it can be the very small things in terms of just this. It can sometimes be the basics around promoting women's cricket and making sure that there's just equality across men's and women's cricket, even things like language, things like website space, things like like getting the matches the same level of promotion, and then there's obviously the bigger things where you need to do a lot more to try and get the game out there, which takes a bit more resource but is doable.
Absolutely. And this Commonwealth Games thing, obviously cricket's been trying to get into kind of a major sports event for a while, so talk us through that.
Yeah, it's hugely exciting to have women's cricket part of the Commonwealth Games, and a challenge we're certainly looking forward to. I think being part of a kind of multi-sports event, having access to totally new fans in new countries that might not necessarily be sort of the traditional members of the ICC cricket nations, to have kind of that attention and being part of, I don't know, for me, I'm not a fan of rowing, but when the Olympics are on, I'll watch it. Or I'm not a fan of fencing or gymnastics, but because it's part of something bigger, I'll switch it over and I'll turn it on. So I think that's a huge opportunity. And I think also with the women's game, we're really fortunate with our calendar not being as congested, and having to be able to kind of sort our own structures out to be able to make sure we can fit it all in.
Well, it certainly would be an amazing thing to see. Cricket in a kind of multi-sports event. And DeLonge just plays one in there and just swept behind, and that could run away, but we've seen how slow the boundary is here in the outfield.
Interesting.
This is just where we don't want to see, or the Dutch should not let Scotland score too many runs here. They've done a lot of work. They really need to protect that score now, so they're setting themselves up.
Catherine Bryce looking to probably play a big captain's knock here and rescue the team here from a tricky situation, but she's got a pretty handy batsman in with a Lorna Jack, performs very well at the regional level with the Eagles and the Stormers in Scotland. So what was part of the process in getting the bid forward for the cricket into the Commonwealth Games? Was it quite a tough process, I'm presuming?
There was obviously plenty of conversations between ourselves and the Commonwealth Games Federation and their sports, and understanding kind of what their needs are and how cricket would fit in. And then there was a formal presentation that we made back in December last year, which involved everything from what a schedule would look like, how the sport would fit into 11 days, to actually what's the community impact, what are our viewing figures and all of that stuff, the commercial element to it, and to try and kind of put ourselves forward. And obviously so there was all these sort of things that we did back in December, and just been waiting to hear from their panel, which we found out earlier this month.
All good news. Good news. We could see the likes of them. Scotland taking on England in the Commonwealth Games match. How exciting would that be? just seen the score now, 44 for 4, just with one delivery to come here by Caroline DeLonga. Tremendously well, the 20-year-old. Cut away, just going to go for a single here. Sturt Callis. How impressive was Sturt Callis with her century this morning. Unbelievable hitting.
Yeah, I think it was just how clean she struck the ball. There's some of her best shots were the ones that she didn't try and overhit, and they soared over the fence line here, which was amazing to see. It's she's been a bit innovative at the back end with a few paddle sweeps and that, so playing all 360 degrees. So yeah, it was a great innings, and truly special to be witness to it.
Absolutely. And the highest T20 international. Women's T20 international score, 126, tied with Meg Lanning. So you can catch the video highlights of that on the ICC T20 World Cup Facebook channels. And some very dodgy commentary for myself as well. But an impressive knock, so check that out, be sure to check that out. We're joined by Holly Colvin here, former England international cricketer and head of women's cricket development for the ICC. So an event like this, what are you taking from this? You come in completely open eyes, and what brings you joy? What do you love about it?
I think it's watching teams grow. I think I've seen both Scotland and Netherlands participate. I think I've been in the job 3 days back in 2015, and I went to Thailand to go to the global qualifier and saw them then, and I've seen them again in the Netherlands at the global qualifier last year, and it's actually seeing them again and seeing how they've improved and scores are getting higher. And
half a chance there as it just floated back. It was a more lofted delivery there. It just kind of eked in. Silver Seager's bowling and just went straight into the hands of Rebecca Lay behind the keeper's hands. Pardon me, as we're just getting instructions. Pardon me if you can't hear me as I'm leaning too far away from the mic, but development these sides is such a wonderful sight. And that's the one thing we've taken, Kira and I, from watching Germany, for example, playing their first T20 internationals, and the joy they've had throughout the whole experience is such a wonderful sight.
Yeah, it's fantastic to see them part of an event like this and learning as they go.
See the ball again, just slowing down in this outfield here. This thick, dense grass is just stopping the ball from running away, and any other ground it probably would have been a boundary there for Catherine Bryce.
Ian, I think something we highlighted as well for especially the German team was patience, just watching them play, because you see Afghanistan play and Bangladesh and some of the teams that are coming onto the men's scene, let's say, and they just they get slated and it's been put down and stuff. They've just got to be let to grow a little, and there is a couple of teams across Europe that we have to be patient with, and the knock-on effect will be so big, so we just have to wait.
I certainly think it's a momentous occasion for them, and there was a lot of nerves. I think that was it. It was once they got that first game out of the way, the confidence just changed.
That's a big shot there. Looks like it's going to be one bounce 4, and that was struck with all the confidence in the world there. And it looks like also no ball as well. There's going to be a free hit, Kira. Is that the signal? And the little rodeo sign there by the umpire, signalling a free hit. Well, you can't deliver bad balls to Catherine Bryce like that. She will punish them away. But yeah, I think you're definitely right in saying, Holly, with the nerves, it was, one of these occasions when they wanted to get out there and play, and they're playing a very tough opposition in the likes of Scotland. Driven hard. Is that gone for straight 6? Massive shot. 2 fingers in the air, and that's 6. That's the maximum, the first maximum of this innings. And that's how you handle and dispatch a free hit. And it's going to be drinks here. Well, we'll just get final thoughts from Holly. What do you think about this game ahead? Where do you think this is going?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's going to be another tight finish. I think if Scotland can get up to 110, 120, I think it's anyone's game at all. And I think it's going to be fascinating to see the back end of this innings and how the Dutch team go about their chase.
Absolutely. And will you be heading up the global qualifier in Scotland later on in the year?
Absolutely, I'll be there. I'd be helping organise that with Cricket Scotland. So yeah, this is the kind of final piece of the puzzle, and then we can get cracking on all the organisation. So.
Oh, we've got a question.
We have a question.
Will you be at the 8th of March at the final in Melbourne?
I most certainly wouldn't miss it for the world,
Absolutely.
Kira.
Yeah, no, because we asked Betty, and Betty won't be there.
Betty from Cricket Netherlands.
Betty's very busy.
Very, very busy. Too busy to attend this world record attempt. They're trying to fill the MCG and have the largest attendance for a female sporting event. But what's next for you, Holly, over the coming months? The global qualifier, any other things happening?
Well, it's not non-work related. I'm actually lucky enough to be invited by FIFA to go and see another sporting event. So go and watch the final of the football.
Oh, you say that with a smug face. Very jealous, popping off the front. But thank you so much for joining us in the Comedy Box. It's been delightful to hear from you. Wish you all the success with this Commonwealth Games bid as well.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to take a quick break here just with the drinks on. Currently 58 for 4 after 10 overs. Well, welcome back to this game.
You okay?
I'm okay. I accidentally just hit myself in the knee off the table. As we're seeing a first bowling appearance here of Stur Callas. Picked up 2 wickets in the game against Germany and also hit a magnificent century, 126 runs. I said previously you can catch the highlights of that knock on the Facebook and Twitter streams of the ICC T20 World Cup. Number 24. Big shot there now. 10 overs down. Scotland have lost very quick consecutive wickets. They're starting to build nicely here with Catherine Bryce and Lorna Jack. Where does Scotland go from here?
Well, I think that, as actually Holly said, I think they're doing a good job. They're rebuilding here. And they're also being gifted a little bit of fruit as well, so they just need to keep running between the wickets, putting away the bad balls, but keeping the strike rotation going. The Dutch just need to tighten up their lines again. They've got off to a great start, but that's not the game won, or that's not the innings won. People need to realise that they need to finish it out.
Swept away. Lorna Jack playing this sweep shot with a lot of confidence right now.
Have you noticed on this trip that Esther hasn't brought us any chocolate?
I have.
She says it's too warm.
It's too warm.
Like, surely we should be the judge of that.
It's a cool breeze right now, Esther. We're treated to this luxury lifestyle here at La Manga. Beautiful conditions for a game of cricket. Very windy, but it's a beautiful picture in front of us of these hills and the villas and apartments dotted around the place. Anyone knowing this region of Spain knows its beauty. And they've situated a cricket ground right in the middle of it. And that's shot really nicely.
I'm wondering as a group what Holland have spoke about and also how many runs they're quite happy for the Scots to get. So,
well, I also wonder what belief the Scotland side will have. As that ball's going to run away to the boundary, and it's going to be picked up. Ellingmeyer doing the fielding duties there. Well, Scotland do have a bowling unit, and they do have a lot of disposal. Abdika Maksud and Priyana Chatterjee, Katie McGill, Catherine Bryce can bowl as well. Sam Hago, Rachel Scholes. So they have got a lot at their disposal. Do they feel comfortable in their wicket-taking ability? They didn't get Germany all out. And they also failed to get the full 10 wickets against the Netherlands as well. So I think themselves, they'll be wondering what kind of score they can put on.
This is an area I'm going to highlight that could be just a bit of a turning point.
That's gone high in there, and this could be a wicket. It is taken safely, and a turning point indeed. Well, a little bit of the mystic here in the commentary box, and you said it was going to be a turning point, and suddenly the loss of Lorna Jack. Scotland 66 for 5 now. Commentator's curse, maybe?
When you've got it in. No, I think on a serious note, the Dutch need to just lift it again. 66 for 5. They would have taken this any day as the wind picks up.
Well,
and they really need to build more pressure, take some more wickets, and just stop that board going up. The Scottish team still have batters in their lineup that can still come in and still rotate the strike. There's no doubt about that.
well, Heather Seegers picks up her first wicket. It's a top edge and just caught mid-wicket, square leg. Just came running in, took an easy catch as Ruth Willis is the new batter at the crease for Scotland, and joining Catherine Bryce, the opener. Sixth batsman to join Catherine Bryce today. Just a straight drive. And now it's going to be Ruth Willis to face her first deliveries against Heather Seegers.
That's confident single to get her off the mark, open her account.
What do you mean, that was Catherine Bryce batting?
Yes, because they switched on the catch.
They did,
My
yes.
bad.
It's all right. I've made that mistake numerous times over the course of the 2 weeks commentating with you, Kira. But yes, if you're just tuning in, this is the ICC Women's Qualifier Europe 2019. It's the 4th match of 6. We're going to have a rest day tomorrow. Big game at the top of the table here. 3 teams involved in this tournament, with Scotland, the Netherlands and Germany. Germany in their first major ICC global tournament. Playing their T20 international debuts yesterday. A couple of heavy defeats, but playing in fantastic spirits. But these two fighting for the top of the table, and that's a wonderful shot to get off the mark. A straight hit. They looked to run 2, but Catherine Bryce with a firm no. That was a straight hit, lofted drive. Any other ground probably would have gone. We're going to keep saying that. The boundary in the outfield here, very slow. You have to really slap the ball to get it for a 4. That's exactly what Catherine Bryce has done there, over the heads of mid-on. And that's going to run away for another boundary for Catherine Bryce. The score now 72 for 5. She moves into the 30s.
Yeah, just interesting there. Just the Dutch were just using one fielder out, which is at deep cover. You might find they might have to spread back 1 or 2 here. I know they're trying to build extra pressure, but also they just don't want that scoreboard running away from them.
This has been a lot more impressive from Heather Seegers. This over here, she was struggling to find her line in the early start of the game, but it's a better over there, just gone for the 6 runs and claimed a wicket. Wicket of Lorna Jack at the start of the over, the first ball, top edged. It's a square leg, mid wicket, an easy catch. Heather Seegers gets her first wicket, 72 for 5. 12 overs gone, 8 remaining of this innings. Catherine Bryce really holding the fort right now, as we're going to see Stir Callis. If you just see on your screen there, number 24, just bowling a couple. of her off spinners. She's been very impressive today, an all-round performance.
I think with the ball, though, I'm not sure. I think she really needs to get through her over here because she's bowling up some full tosses, short stuff that's been put away. And just with the current scenario, they'd want to just keep it as tight as possible and build pressure.
Well, as soon as you said that, it was a no ball, and they've just managed to sneak a single in as well. We saw her do this in the last game as well.
Yeah.
Just pitches it far too short.
Just could be an over too much.
I'm going to see a free hit here.
So they're allowed to adjust the field because they rotated strike.
It's going to be another no ball again. Struggling to find a line. They're going to sneak a single once again. It's going to be another free hit. As the flies come attacking us again in the commentary
I
box.
think they're only attacking you, Ian.
Oh, don't be silly. I've seen you throw some karate moves in the air, avoiding them.
I was avoiding you.
Touching. And gets the delivery away there. And just cuts away for one on that free hit. I'm just wondering, they're just bringing mid-off up, and they've got a long on for Catherine Bryce. Cut away onto the offside once again. Fielded. Deep point. And that's Van Bulcher doing the fielding on the boundary. The German fans have stuck around as well in their Golden Eagle supporter tops. Almost a no ball there, almost a double bat, and there was a throw there by Heather Seegers, looking like she was going to go for the stumps, but it was at least a metre higher than the bails there, and it almost looked like she was aiming for the batter. Fuller delivery from Seegers could be caught, and that's a wicket there for Stir Callis. Picked up a wicket, fuller length, cut away. And that's the end of Catherine Bryce.
Just got a wider ball there, tried to put her hands through it and just didn't connect with that fully. A good catch. She went. That's just actually, we talk about when you're catching as well, putting your hands up high, and you know, luckily if it comes down again, you're there to catch it again, and on that occasion, that was it.
I'm not too sure if Catherine Bryce saw the fielder there at point. He moved actually a bit more square.
It's just where Stair Callis is just... She's got away with murder in this over.
Yeah, 2 no balls at the start. 3 singles. Fuller, wider delivery, and Catherine Bryce didn't get fully hold of that. And just quite an easy catch. There was a bit of juggling actually at point, but manages to secure the wicket to the Scotland captain. And Stir Callis, everything she's doing today, she's having a positive impact for the Netherlands side. 6 down now of Scotland.
I actually think Stair coming in with a little bit more intent in her action is actually working better for her. Just as I say that.
Well, that wasn't given as a no ball, but that ball came in at some height and dipped down. Well, land the over, a couple no balls, a couple runs, but most importantly, the wicket of Scotland captain Catherine Bryce. And now we see Katie McGill joining Ruth Willis in the crease. 79 for 6 after 13 overs here. Where does Scotland go from here, Kira?
They have to bat out the 20, and that's the most important thing. Just keeping the runnings ticking over. You know, Netherlands are gifting them wides here and there, no balls. They just have to keep going and really, you know, running between the wickets like they can do, and really putting away the bad ball. It sounds very easy, but I think they need to just put the pressure as well to the back of their mind and really get their head, you know, keep it in the moment.
two of the older players at the crease now. 27, Katie McGill, and 30 years old, Ruth Willis. The experience, certainly.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of...
And that's gone high in the air, and it could be caught. That's the leader. Takes the catch behind the wicket, and it's another wicket for the Netherlands. As Ruth Willis now departs for Scotland. 7 down in the 14th over. This has been very comprehensive so far from the Netherlands. All smiles in that inner circle, embracing. The leader, she took a pretty easy catch there. Behind the stumps, top edge again. So we just see Katie McGill taking on some water. Just ahead of us. So we're just going to take a look at this batting card now, and it's going to tell a pretty bleak picture for Scotland. Sarah Bryce, 15, got off to that flying start with her sister Catherine, and 34 for the Scotland captain, but a duck for Becky Glenn, and bringing as Chatterjee parting for 3, another duck for Rachel Scholes. Lorna Jack with a nice appearance in partnership with Catherine Bryce, but Ruth Willis parting for 4.
The keeper's played a part in a lot of those as well. She's done well today. Some easier than others. So just 2 out at the moment. They've got a deep cover and a long on.
Now, Samantha Hago is the new batter at the crease for Scotland, joining Katie McGill. No doubt about it, be making an appearance with the ball later. Heather Seeger is picking up 2 wickets so far in the match. 26 for 2, 23 for 2, her figures. Tries the ramp shot, plays it behind. There isn't anyone standing at fine leg, and it could run away for 4, and it has.
She's played
4 runs.
Very well.
Yeah, that's met with a big cheer of appreciation by the Scotland camp over there. That's pushed them into the 80s. That was a very elegant cricket stroke there.
I'm pretty sure we've seen her play that shot yesterday, so it's obviously a strength of hers, and especially if there's no 45 or anyone behind square, a low risk shot. Yeah, Katie McGill's definitely a fighter character, and she'll want to stick in here for a team. And that's exactly what they need at the moment. Again, they need to bat the 20 overs. I know we spoke about this a few minutes ago, and just put on as many runs as they can. Runs on the board, it's kind of like nearly like a final situation here. And runs on the board could be key as well, forcing Holland maybe into to make mistakes.
Yeah, 6 overs to go. I think they've got to keep the pressure on here. They've got to aim for 100, 110 at least. Just clean to the table next to you, are we?
Oh, what a water incident. Just going back to kind of the guys' mindset as well. I'd like to see the batters communicate with each other a little bit more. You know, it's 2v11 out there, and they really need to help each other.
Well, good decision here and there's a little misfield, and that's the pressure from the run there. Well, this is a good decision by Juliette Post, the captain, putting on Carolina De Longa. Again, bit of leg spin, rolling her 4th over here. She's picked up 3 wickets in this match, including that fantastic over, grabbing the first 2 wickets of the game, and that change up, and really broke that partnership with the Bryce sisters, and grabbed another scalp as well. And it could be a stomping, is it? Well,
And the keeper on the ball there.
Sam Hager with quick reflexes. Knew that Babette Delayed wanted to do a stomping and just threw a bat back straight in.
I'd like to see the batter now go down and talk, and you know, we're in the 3rd over, there's 2 balls to come. Maybe just even face her out for the moment. You know, we don't need to do anything in these next 2 balls. You know, like some positive talk.
Just a dot ball here. I think that's what's going to happen. I think they're just going to play the end of Caroline DeLonge, the 20-year-old leg spinner. 3 wickets in this game. There's a cut, and there is someone standing at point. So no run there. And that's the end. Caroline DeLonge, 10 for 3 after her 4 overs.
Well bowled. She's bowled very, very well. And I think that's a name that's going to be around for a while if she continues to bowl like that. We did speak about this wicket to the groundsman again, and he said 140 was power on this wicket. And he, yesterday we saw the spinners really clean up on this wicket, so it's a nice wicket to bowl on.
Well, Katie McGill to face now. As you just see the camera shaking in the wind, that just shows the extent of the wind that's coming in around this cricket ground right now. Just a couple changes in the field. Looks like they're going to be playing fine leg. It almost sounded like that ramp shot went straight in to those stumps there. She's just practicing the ramp. The girl feels very confident that's the way she wants to handle it. Well, the fine legs just moved down to 45. Shorter delivery, it's gone high in the air, could be caught and bowled, and that's the end. Katie McGill departs, and Never Seegers picks up her 3rd wicket. Shorter delivery, again a top edge.
It's actually interesting to look at the body language here of the Scottish team. I feel the early wickets up front has really gone back through the camp over there, and it's really shook them. I like in spells Holland have bowled well, but they haven't necessarily taken this game away from them. I feel the Scots have got themselves out on occasions.
We'll have a Seegers now 3 wickets, 85 for 8 the score now, and the Netherlands will be looking to see if they can restrict Scotland to under 100. They've performed very nicely in the field, but like you said, it's been weak shots that have got Scotland out here.
It's just the nerves, it's a must-win game for them. And all of these things, I suppose going back to practice, it's very hard to practice in these intense situations. You wouldn't necessarily be in these all the time. And just, the mindset and relaxing into the tournament and just positive self-talk, all of these things come into play now, and Scotland really must get their head around this and bat the remaining of the 20 overs.
Well, 18-year-old Megan McCall is the new batter at the crease for Scotland. Just finds the edge then, straight off the mark. Could run 2 here if they're sensible. Sam Hago wants 2, but just Megan McCall just not fast enough. Well, that's a nice way to get off the mark. Just plays it down to 3rd man. 86 now for 8 in the 16th over. Scotland got to bat out the 20. One has to think. Never Seegers 28 for 3. Joining Caroline DeLonge with 3 wickets as well. Yeah, they've a lot of catches in this game. Pushed away. Pulled down to square leg and just picks up a single. Smart batting there from Sam Hago. So score moves on to 87 for 8.
I maintain still that these runs on the board are going to be vital. It's going to put pressure back on the Holland camp, and they're going to have to come out and get them. So the next 20 are going to be really interesting.
I'm just going to have a look at the bowling figures here for the Netherlands, and it's some very impressive figures. Never Seegers and Caroline DeLonge are picking up 3 wickets apiece. But Caroline DeLonge are going for 10 runs from her 4 overs, and picking up 3 wickets. Stir Callis with the wicket of Catherine Bryce from her 2.
Also, Ian, if you just look there, the 3rd and 4th over, or 3rd and 4th wicket fell on 32, 33, and then number 6 and 7, 79, 79. It's where they're falling as well,
Crucial times.
Because they're just getting mini partnerships going, and then pressure builds.
Well, Iris Willing, 17-year-old, is going to be bowling again here from the near end, is what we're referring to as this end at La Manga. Oh, just narrowly misses the bat there of Samantha Hago. Almost found the bottom edge of that and towed it into the stumps. 87 for 8 in the 17th over. Scotland looking to add as many runs as they can from here. Punched away. Well fielded.
Just at the moment they have a deep square leg, a deep fine leg, and Sterkalis at deep cover. So the Dutch have really kept the circle really built up with fielders, and I think it's actually worked. It's built pressure on the Scots and forced them to play shots that have, gone up in the air and been caught, obviously.
Oh, again, just misses the bat. That's really good from Zwilling. A little bit of a turn of pace as well, just a faster delivery.
Again, just mentioning the keeper doing a good job. It's nice to see young keepers coming through and really getting stuck in. A few changes in the field. Square leg has come in just to mid-wicket. They're putting in a slip. And just bringing that mid-wicket over there into extra cover. Kind of 2 extra covers here.
Driven hard by Megan McCool, but it's just going to find
Yeah, and just if the German team are watching, I suppose, if they just look at this field that they've created here, the mid-on and mid-off, it's something that I think they need to look at. Just they got it wrong there and they leaked about 40 runs through this area. Just not in the right positions.
just picking up a single at the end of the over there. Going to finish on 89 for 8 after 17 overs. Now we're going to just take a look at the points table here, and Kira, this just emphasises how important of a game this is for both sides.
Yeah, absolutely, and just looking at that net run rate that the Netherlands have pushed up there with that win earlier on, it's really up there. They've done a great job. So this is a must-win game for Scotland. Unfortunately, Germany are out of the running, but for Scotland this is a must-win, and that's why you're seeing such a pressure situation at the moment.
As the pressure got to Scotland, but cricket's a game of 2 innings.
Well done, Ian.
Wow, Kira. Wow.
It's a long week.
Wow. A long week of you making fun of me. Didn't let me finish my point, but alright. It's fine. Kira Metcalf getting the last laugh once again. Live commentary here on the ICC Women's Qualifier Europe 2019. 89 for 8 after 17 overs now.
And I think this is another good move by the Dutch. They have a long on down there in case you decide to hit over the top. Spinners have played a huge part here today. And maybe the Scots are going to take that into their innings.
Well, we've seen Abtika Maksood pick up wickets. We've seen Rachel Scholes pick up wickets. It's the off spin and the leg spinners. Yeah, with Maksood proving leg spin very important in that opening game against Germany. We've also seen Priyanaz Chatterjee pick up a couple wickets as well. 4 wickets in the tournament so far.
Looking at the field now, Ian, they've short third man, kind of sitting on the circle, point, deep cover, extra cover. I suppose the reason why I'm saying this is there's singles there. They need to keep, you know, we're into the last couple of overs. They do need to maybe have a conversation. We can drop and run, keep rotating the strike, and just keep that scoreboard going up as much as they can.
Megan McCall does really well there. Just a square drive. So we just had a little air display over the ground there. A couple of planes flying in unison over the ground, if you just pick that up on the microphone. This is Sober Seeger's bowling. Oh, and Sam Hago nearly played that one into the keeper's hands.
Yeah, if she moves that foot across with the ball on her bat, there is a gap there between third man and point.
Gave her the full toss and dropped. Dropped at mid-wicket. That delivery was there. I think she played into the bowler's hands, but it was dropped. And another lifeline here for Scotland. They could have been 9 down. Megan McCall getting a lifeline there at the end of the over. Well, 91 for 8. They're into the 90s now. 2 overs to go. Should they set themselves a little target here and say, let's go for 100, let's go for 105?
I think definitely over 100 if they can. They have 2 overs, and again we've highlighted the gaps. The Dutch have set the field really, really well today, but they're just going a little bit, putting I suppose a few fielders out just for the last few. Third man, they've actually brought in their mid-wicket, and they've a deep cover. Slip.
Francis down. Direct hit could be out. Sam Hago looking possibly for 2 there with just a little bit of a overthrow. Well, that was a confident strike by Sam Hago there.
That's Caroline DeLang who's feeling the confidence. A really, really good pickup. She could have got a throw on wickets. That could have been close.
We saw Zwilling, Iris Zwilling bowling. We saw her pick up a couple. I'll tell you, Sam Hago and Ruth Willis. Pardon me, Megan McCall. So it just mixed up my names there. Megan McCall, they're very fast between the wicket, aren't they?
Yeah, and that's what's needed for these last 10 balls.
They're sprinting here.
Look, in the first 2 overs they got off to 22. You know, that's how much you can put on the board. You can put on a big score in the last 2 overs. They just take each ball at a time, know where the fielders are.
Tries to put that shot for the Cobbers, and it could be out here. Directed, and it is. Sam Hago wanted the single there, now has to run back. Megan McCall shouted no, and it's another run out here for Scotland. And that's the 9th wicket of the day. 94 for 9 now in the 19th over. Well, we're going to see Aptika Maksud coming in here for the final batter for Scotland. Just going out to meet Megan McCall. Sam Hago is met with applause as she walks back into the tent. And Scotland teammates. That's Denise Van Deventer there giving a big word of encouragement just to finish this off. Another run out. It was the arm of Juliet Post, the captain actually, that just threw it in. It wasn't the hardest of throws, but it was accurate enough. Pulled away by Megan McCall. And they should run 2 here. Aptika is good.
He's turn and go. She's running to the... No, okay.
Well, I must apologise also for my pronunciation yesterday on yesterday's broadcast of Maksud's name. I wrote it down wrong, so apologies to anyone listening that picked up on that. But Aptika Maksud Batting here with Megan McCall. Second last over. And that's out, and that's the final wicket. They're going to finish on 96, all out here in the 19th over. Well, this has been a really good performance by the Netherlands bowling attack.
It certainly has, and they had a clear game plan, and they've really stuck to it. They've just forced Scotland to make errors, and I think on occasion Scotland got themselves out. Just one thing Scotland or the Dutch definitely did very well today is they set a good field, and I think a little bit of loose bowling, but then it forced Scotland to place some shots they weren't ready for, and a lot of catches.
Well, we're just going to take a look at the batting card here, and then we're going to chat about possibly what Scotland need to do now and challenge this. Well, if you see this Netherlands side walking off, they're full of confidence, they're applauding themselves, actually. But here's the batting card. Well, flying start by the Bryce sisters at the start. 15 for Sarah Bryce, and a captain's knock there by Catherine for 34. But ducks from Becky Glenn and Rachel Scholes, and a little appearance by Chatterjee in the middle for 3. But at the bottom, it was little partnerships, and they were nearing 100, but eventually 96, all out in the 19th over. We'll just take a look at the bowling card here. Kira, talk us through this one.
I'm just counting. They actually used 2, 4, 6 bowlers there today. Okay, the main thing is, Ian, and I've looked at earlier on, is where the fall of wickets came. They came in clusters, and they just didn't help the Scottish, the setting the runs. I think Netherlands bowled a little bit better than yesterday. They pulled it back, especially in the wides department. But I'm just going to... The difference, I think, today of them was definitely where they set the field. I don't think the bowling was any better, personally. But I think they set better fields, and they just had a better game plan to each batter that was coming out.
Well, I'm just going to take an innings break here. Netherlands are going to require 97 from 20 overs for them to get 3 wins from 3 in this ICC Women's Qualifier Europe 2019. We'll be back in 10 minutes for the run chase between Scotland and the Netherlands. Well, welcome back, and apologies for the delayed start in the commentary here, just fixing some technical errors. You join us. The run chase, Scotland versus the Netherlands here in La Manga, the 4th game of 6 in this ICC Women's Qualifier Europe 2019. Ian Leggett here in commentary, alongside former Irish international Ciara Metcalfe. We're seeing Catherine Bryce following the opening spell here. If you were watching the footage, you saw the national anthem being sung proudly by some family members of the Scotland team here, but they have got a task on hand here. Scotland all out 96, all out from their 20 overs. Well, actually, it was within 18.5. So, Ciara, what does Scotland have to do?
To bowl good areas, it's just simple as that, and set good fields. They're very loud to start off, and that's really good to see. They're all up and about, cheering each other. They started with a deep square leg and a cow corner.
Well, they were doing their studying of this Netherlands side, and particularly Ster Callis, the 19-year-old big hitter, top run scorer for the Netherlands in T20 International, holds the highest score in a T20 International for the Netherlands with 126 runs, 76 balls. She did that against Germany this morning, and almost finds the bat there of Ster Callis. Does Catherine Bryce. Rocks back into the hands of her sister, Sarah Bryce. Linus Thompson, that's a good opening over there. 2 for no loss. But the Netherlands don't have to go about this with pace.
No, absolutely. And I'm interested to see how Ster goes about this, because she's obviously got some momentum and confidence from this morning. But this is obviously a big game, and nerves come in, and she'll show her maturity if she can just switch that around and just continue to just hit the runs around and do a job for her team.
Well, we're going to see Priyanaz Chatterjee bowling here from the near end. Picked up some wickets so far in this tournament. 4 wickets from the 2 games she's played, including 3 in the first game against Germany. They're going to need to strike early if they want to restrict this Dutch side. That's really well played there by Heather Seegers. Didn't have the legs to go to the boundary. Ruth Willis does the fielding duties.
Nice control shot. Slightly backward point. Just seeing the gap there and running well.
Well, the one thing that was really impressive about this Netherlands innings against Germany, they hit 196 for 3, was the tempo and the manner they went about it. They never looked phased at any point in the game. Just getting a body in front of that one, Chatterjee, and restricting the singles. Every dot ball is going to be met with pure delight. Big cry of Scotland there, one of the parents. It's a must-win game now for Scotland. They want to finish top of the table in the tournament. It's important to say there's not just a place at the global qualifier, which Scotland have already secured because they are hosting it at the end of August, but also a place at the ICC Women's Cricket World Cup global qualifier for the 50 over tournament, which is yet to be announced location and dates, but there's a place to go to that.
It's in 2021.
How important it is. And another dot ball. Rachel Scholes doing the fielding there. An extra cover.
Heather Seegers is hitting the ball nice up front, very cleanly.
Massive gust of wind comes into our commentary tent right now. Well, everything's actually moving around. Holding on for dear life in the commentary box. Full of delivery there from Chatterjee, and it's a wide. It's the call from the umpire there.
Just for Heather Seegers, they have a long on and a deep cow corner set. So highlighting her strength. She's very strong down the ground, as we saw against Germany this morning.
Bounces down the crease, and that's hit really hard. Becky Glenn doing the fielding out there, cow corner. They're just changing the field up here for Callis. Just talk us through the choices here. It looks like they've gone deep point and deep square leg. Actually, deep cover, pardon me, slightly more towards the bowler. Just a duck ball there. And Callis doing some gardening up at her end of the crease.
Good working. It was good.
Thank you very much, Kira. Shorter delivery, cut away. Katie McGill fast onto the boundary. Just keeping that just to the one there, and that's what Scotland are going to have to do here. I think for morale's sake and confidence sake for the batsmen, if they restrict the boundaries, they're not going to allow them to get into their stride. I think Kevin Bryce here is going to have to be very sensible with consistently changing the field, not letting the batsmen get comfortable. Something I think they did very well, actually, when they last played yesterday. Is what Germany didn't do. They just allowed these Dutch batsmen to settle in and get into their groove and hit 100 plus. 96 to target here. They now need 90 runs from 18 overs. Bowled him! Callis, middle stump out. A wonderful delivery there by the captain, Catherine Bryce. And middle stump came flying out. And what a delivery that was from Catherine Bryce.
Absolutely fantastic delivery. And I think this is Denise coming in now. Going to have to play another role like she's played in 2 innings previous. It's a fantastic ball. You can see how much it means to Scotland.
Wow, a massive wicket here. Just seeing, actually. Yeah, that is Callis departing there. Well, she made that fantastic century. She hit 126, but she's just departed there. In the 3rd over, thanks to an absolute beauty from the Scotland captain, Catherine Bryce. They knew how important that wicket was. And you saw the celebrations there. Everyone ran in. And now, a new challenge. Denise van Deventer. Off the pad, could be 2 and 2. Here it is! Catherine Bryce gets a second from 2 balls. Jubilation here for Scotland. And they've got the 2 crucial wickets in 2 balls thanks to the bowling of Catherine Bryce.
Absolutely fantastic bowling. Just stuck to her line, straight up and down. And it's actually funny because Denise, all through her other 2 innings, has played the ball all in front of her and just looked to work the ball around, and just got caught out in that.
That was very uncharacteristic from Denise van Deventer there. She's played very confidently, and she's actually played herself in throughout the 2 innings that she's had. Yeah. But that one just got caught on the back foot, and a wonderful delivery, and all of a sudden Catherine Bryce is on a hat-trick here. They've got the 2 crucial wickets, and the 2 wickets they would have wanted to get straight away. That's Callis and Denise van Deventer, the 2 danger batters for the Netherlands. 126 for Callis, and Denise van Deventer hit 40 against Germany. But all of a sudden, Denise van Deventer, golden duck here against Scotland. Now Catherine Bryce, hat-trick ball. And it's going to be Miranda Veringmeyer to face it. Just pushed away onto the long side, leg side there, and just calms it down with a single. Well, this has been a fantastic start to the over by Catherine Bryce. You can see how pumped up the Scotland girls are now. A massive gust of wind again, hitting our commentary position and hitting the field. You can actually see the trees and the flags actually just shaking.
The rough terrain.
Had to bring it up again, didn't you, Kira? I think you like that word more than I do. Well, exciting stuff here. 8 for 2 in the third over. There's the Scotland captain, Catherine Bryce. 2 massive wickets. That's just played onto the leg side there by Heather Seegers.
I think
Picked
in the
up by
Scottish
Megan McCall.
or in the Dutch camp, they just need to calm down, spend time at the crease, and just keep chipping away at that total.
Well,
Love that word.
There's that phrase again, chipping away. Well, one and over that was by Catherine Bryce. We're just gonna wait for that scorecard to update below us. But Scotland here defending 96. They got 96 all out from 18.5 overs, as you can see on the bottom of your screen there. And we're going to see Priyanaz Chatterjee bowling again here. That's her on your screen. She's picked up 4 wickets in the tournament. And how important another win would be. And the umpires are just having a discussion here. Just wondering if it has anything to do with how many balls they delivered in the last over. Actually, I think there might have been a miscount. We were just considering up here in the scorer's box. They're just wondering how many deliveries, and it is. Catherine Bryce is going to come back onto a ball. I did raise the finger there at you for 4 deliveries. I wasn't sure. Well, I'm sure there was some of you watching at home will have realised that the umpires just miscounted there. And I think there's still another 2 deliveries to go. Well, that's well found there. It would have been slightly unfair to one of the teams.
Yep.
So we got another, what we believe, 2 deliveries to come in this over. And Catherine Bryce picking up 2 wickets in the over. Stir Callis and Denise van Deventer. And a dot ball there. And you can see this, every dot ball right now, a lot of cheering, a lot of support coming from the Scotland girls all around the ring here. They've got a cow corner and a deep square leg. 2 out for the power play. I think Catherine Bryce has certainly found her line there. A nice full delivery to finish off the over. And now that is the end of the over, and that is 3 overs done. 9 for 2, the Netherlands. Scotland off to a flying start here. Let's just take a look at this Scotland batting card as we just cast our memory back to the first innings. You might be joining here. Welcome to the ICC Women's Qualifier Europe 2019. And 96 all out Scotland were. Catherine Bryce shone with the ball so far and also shone with the bat. Real captain's innings. Not enough to get over to the 100 mark. It's just pushed on there to the leg side, and it's going to be a single.
Nice controlled shot. Shows how much the cricket is at 2s and fro's, just back and forth. Just. We said this game was going to be the interesting one, so let's see how it pans out.
It certainly is delivering right now, but Veeringmeyer and Heather Seegers will be looking just to rebuild here for the Netherlands. Now, how umped up does a bowler get once they see, you know, a fellow seam bowler or spin bowler, a little misfield there in the field, and just allows a single to creep through? You know, how amped up do you get just seeing another wicket taken? Now you're just about to bowl from the other end. You want a wicket.
Absolutely. It's, you know, you're passing the ball over to the person at the other end. They've done lots of good work and built up pressure, and you're dying to get the ball in your hand, I presume, just to Going bull. Well, I certainly was.
Oh, and just another, just slides past. Square leg there.
Just on the running between the wickets now. I'd like them to challenge for a second there. Don't leave any behind. They don't have time to wait till later on. Let's get them now.
Well, 85 needed now. Keeney McGill doing the fielding there, cover, sliding onto one knee and just restricting the run. And and Lorna Jack with just the dummy throw there right in the face of Heather Steegers. It's been a good over here from Pianaz Chatterjee. Again, plenty of pressure, and this is the intent we've been talking about throughout the competition, and it's the intent in the field and the intent with even these little dummy throws that they're doing every time they get onto the ball. It's very quick. They're even chucking the ball around a lot, and just seeing who's going to have a bowl here. And I think we're going to see the first appearance here of Aptika Maksud. Right arm leg spin. Oh, actually, it's still going to be Catherine Bryce who's taking it. Maksud is just cleaning the ball there. Catherine Bryce, well, picked up the 2 wickets and over. Incredibly exciting stuff here. 12 for 2, the Netherlands. Well, the Netherlands in no hurry right now. They still have the 15.5 overs to go. Scotland will be looking to strike again. Catherine Bryce, 2 wickets to her name. 2 from 2 balls at the start of the last over. And that's that length once again. It's just awkward, and Sam Hagg goes straight onto that.
She's definitely bowled a good line length up front, and she's been backed up by the field. The field is working really hard for the bowlers, and I think they've also set a really good field to both batters. Definitely Scotland up and about. There's a buzz about them at the minute. They're on top. 12 off 2. 12 for 2, my bad.
And just narrowly hits the bat there of Heather Seegers. Doesn't look comfortable at the crease, Heather Seegers, right now.
I think that they're getting a good line here in length, and they're not allowing her to free her hands like they have as well. If she decides to go big, they have that person down there for long on.
The wind has picked up again. The gorgeous setting that we have here in La Manga. Beautiful hills and apartments and villas and classic Spanish architecture. And this really is a wonderful venue, and from someone that loves picturesque cricket locations. And that's a great over, and that's the maiden there from Catherine Bryce. Well, picked up 2 wickets in the over before that. Now she's on a maiden. Wonderful bowling for the Scotland captain.
And you can see Heather Seegers, really, she's a strong batter. and she's having to play a different role here at the moment with 2 wickets down. But you know, she just uses her little bit of experience. She can definitely stay there and wait for a bowler that suits her. I just don't want the Dutch team to fall behind the required run rate and leave themselves with too much to get in the back overs.
Well, the required run rate right now is currently 5.6 and they're sitting on 2.4. We're going to see an appearance of Rachel Scholes. There she is on your screen. You can bowl some right arm off spin. Oh, and if there was a slip there, it would have been caught. That's Megan McCall doing the pick-up duties there, standing at backward point. The wind picks up once again. We're really holding everything down to our table right now. Short delivery by Rachel Scholes, and that's just pushed away. Collected by Catherine Bryce at long on, and they just grab a single there. Sarah Bryce applauding her sister and captain. Just a little movement in the field here. They're putting down a cow corner from square leg, as well as long on. Played to Megan McCall. She's going to run after this, slides down on the ground and picks up another run to the Netherlands. Maybe 3 required now.
It's nice that the Netherlands are Scotland are bowling good lines here. They're not giving any width, and they're also not bowling extras, which is good.
Straight into the hands, and that was the wide. Well, so I want to say commentator Curse strikes again.
I'm actually just not going to speak.
Well, I'm sure that and the exact same shot played there by Vera Maya, just a bit of width, and just opens up the face of the bat. 15 for 2 in the 6th over here, towards the end of the power play. Scotland have plenty of other bowlers at their disposal. And wide delivery again.
I'm actually liking this option around, but I think she's just got to tighten it up just a little bit. Maybe to try bring that backward point, cover into play, bring on the catch.
Maybe she heard you. Could be caught. One-handed catch! Lorna Jack! What a wonderful catch there at square leg. One-handed. It was a bold decision to go for the one-handed catch. Rachel Scholes tightened up her line and she plucked it out the air. And that's the 3rd wicket here for Scotland. 17 for 3 in the 6th over.
What a catch. I feel all the luck has just jumped onto the Scottish side at the moment. It's just chopping and changing. But that's a fantastic catch at a pressure point. Really, really good.
What a beautiful catch that was. Lorna Jack lifted up her right hand and plucked it out the air. The Scotland fans. Well, there you are. You see a couple of them. The Scotland flags flying high as well. So a couple of German fans hanging around. They're watching a very exciting game of cricket here. Was a tremendous catch. Just seeing the replay on screen there. Takes some beauty. Wow. End of the 6th over here. Rachel Scholes grabs the wicket in her 1st over. 17 for 3 now. The Netherlands require 18 from 14 overs. Well, the power play just finishing now. They've only gone for 17 runs. Scotland grabbing the 3 wickets here. Who's in the power position right now, Kira?
I think Scotland are. Yeah, they really need to keep on top of this. They're doing well. They're setting the field very well, and the Scots have fielded very well. They've come out really, really strong. They backed up their bowlers. Bowlers have bowled tighter lines than yesterday, and they've definitely seen an improvement. Although
Well, Katie McGill is going to be taking the ball now. She just appears on your screen right in the middle there. Just seeing the end of the power play now. They've opened the field right up, and I think they're going to just want the Netherlands to play for singles here. I think they'll be perfectly happy with different tactics to what we saw the Netherlands do against Scotland in the first innings. Very different situation, of course, but they've gone for a long on, long off. Deep square leg. Point. Really nice start to the over there by Katie McGill. Just a bit of medium pace, not too fast. That one kind of rode up against the 5-pad. Well, Scotland 17 for 3, the Netherlands right now, and Katie McGill will be keen to strike.
see, it's kind of a hard situation because you spread the field, and all of a sudden Scotland or the Dutch get back into it. You know, their run rate goes up, or so you just have to measure that properly.
Wide ball there. Again, a bit of commentator's curse here. Maybe we should stop complimenting the bowlers. Every time that seems to happen, they seem to be doing a wide delivery. Well, if you're just tuning in, it's an incredibly exciting occasion. This match was promising drama and it's delivering it. Full of delivery there and just tightens up a line. They're going to sneak in a single.
I think just the Scottish captain actually should have kept the field in. Just maybe 1 or 2 more overs. Put that added pressure on them. Force them to make shots because their run rate is getting higher. To chase.
Now the required run rate right now is 5.7. It's sitting at 3. The delivery opens up the face, and it's Ruth Willis doing the fielding there. I've gone for the point and the backward point. Square leg. Well, she's very square, the wicket. And that's really nice line there from Katie McGill, just forcing the block here. I think I know what you mean, actually. With the field opening up like that, these singles will play towards the power play, but if you give them full of deliveries...
Yeah, it doesn't appear that, just looking at the last 2 shots, that you're in a position to do that just yet, but it could change.
And just misfield there from Megan McCool at point. Ruth Willis does the collecting. Sneak in another single.
You know, I think from the Dutch's point of view, they need to highlight if it goes to left or right of the fielder who has left-right hand, who will throw it in quickest, and really push the runs in the circle as well as to the boundary.
You can see the Netherlands batters just playing it along the ground, and no risky shots so far from these two. Just gonna take a look at the bowling card here for Scotland. It's been a flying start. Catherine Bryce, captain of 3 overs, 1 maiden, 2 wickets, crucially. And more importantly for Scotland, it was Ster Callis and Denise van Deventer, the 2 batters that put on an absolute beautiful display against Germany. Rachel Scholes just picking up the wicket, and she's just coming into bowl now. Just press forward.
Just the wickets falling one after the other of the 2 informed batters, and then just picking up another one quite close to that. It's been a very good start for Scotland. Better.
And that's the boundary. Just ran away there for 4. That's 4 more onto the Netherlands total. Sue doing the collecting.
Ian, I think these are some of the shots they're actually going to have to take on. If they get a ball a little bit wider and they can put their hands through it, or there's a gap, you know, all of a sudden you're looking in a few overs, we're up past 10, 11. They're going to run out of time.
That's a really nice response there from Rachel Scholes, just putting one right at the feet there. Robin Riker. Sam Agel. Could be a run-out opportunity here. Oh. Safely back. From our angle, it actually looked like she was a meter. Well, Sam, it was a lighter throw there, and Kira, you're just signaling you would have liked a harder throw in there.
No, I'm thinking I like to see flight on it.
Oh, I see. Oh, not quite too good with your sign language and me reading it. This has been a good over from Rachel Scholes. Hit for 4. She's responded well. Megan McCall with a pick up there, a backward point, and a dot ball to finish. Well, just wide and 4 there.
Yeah, there's opportunities there to get singles and maybe take little risks, but you know this run rate could get too big on them, and they really need to have a conversation, have a look where the fielders are, talk to each other more, try get maybe a little bit on top of the bowler, move around the crease. There's so many things they can do, and you know, obviously then running between the wickets as hard as they can. Ian nearly left the tent. He was nearly blown away.
Yep, that's how light I am. Katie McGill adding a bit more pace in that ball, straight into the hands of Megan McCall. And it's good to see McGill just adding a bit more pace onto it now, a bit more zip.
Yeah.
Maybe she's being pushed by the wind.
Maybe, but in saying what I think the Dutch should do, the Scots have fielded very, very well. They've really supported their bowlers, and they've come out as a different team.
Well, that's one thing that I think they let themselves down, Scotland, yesterday on their fielding effort. It was, I know they were playing the 2 games, but low energy in the field, and perhaps didn't apply the pressure they could have applied to the Netherlands in that first innings in that game yesterday. It would have been a very different performance if we were looking at this score in 8 overs. They're looking to respond right now. And the full toss there from Katie McGill. They are finding their lines here, the Scotland bowlers. 26 for 3 now on the 9th over. 71 runs needed. The Netherlands to grab the victory here, make it 3 from 3. Pave their way to finishing top of the table here in this women's qualifier. Almost a wicket there.
It was a really, really good ball. You can see how much it means to everyone. Everyone's up and about. I just think maybe these 2 batters are in a situation here where they wouldn't ordinarily be, and it might be just a bit too much. Just the Scotland are bowling so well, sticking to their game plan and not giving any width at all.
But you're closing your notepad. Do you not need your notes anymore?
I certainly do. It's just too windy.
And that's a wide ball. I think the viewers will probably be sick and tired of us talking about the wind, but it really is the story of the day. Second to Stuart Callis's wonderful century, but the manga conditions here, it's big gusts every now and then. Wonderful temperature though. This European heat wave that's coming, that's just paddled back, and Chatterjee doing the chasing as it just about reaches the boundary. Does very well on the boundary there. Tremendous effort by Chatterjee just to stop the boundary. Dove down and just saved the fort.
Good fielding and full commitment again. We've spoke about how much the fielders have backed up their bowlers, and that's just a clear example there. Yeah, the heat here is fantastic, and what a great place to play cricket. And it's so close for all teams as well. It's a great location, and I think it's one that's going to be definitely used for years to come.
Yeah, allowing these teams to play in a warm climate and not
Yeah.
have the concern of rain, and rather the concern of this European heat wave that's happening. I'm sure people at home or wherever you're watching will be, you know, stocking up on the water.
Yeah, and I think just up the road is the facility they stay in. It's just fantastic. You know, the accommodation is set up as well for team environment. It's not bang in the middle of nightlife. It's, you know, the teams can get together, eat together. There's also a gym. So it's, you know, it's set up for athletes, and also then this fantastic facility down here, pitches, nets, grass nets, and then the weather. It's fantastic.
Just seeing Catherine Bryce play around with the field as she positions herself at mid-off. Well, square leg. Pardon me, extra cover as I completely mix up my fielding positions here as the ball just slips away, and Sam Hago doing the sweeper roll there. Sam Hago bowling right now. That's a wides. Well, 67. Okay, we will have a drinks break at 10, just because of the conditions.
I think these drinks breaks at 10 have actually worked as a good little pick-me-up for the teams, and you've seen it kind of break it down. I know in hockey they use it sometimes, and they break it down into quarters, and it just adds a little different dimension to a game, but I actually think it's worked very well in this tournament.
We saw Scotland strike. It was actually Sam Hago struck, grabbed the wicket on the first ball after the drinks break yesterday against the Netherlands.
Straight in over the top. It sets the tone. It's, you know, you're backing up the bowler, and it puts doubt in the minds of the batter if they want to, you know, take on that fielder. So just at the moment, the Dutch need 64 off 10.1 overs, and the run rate is creeping up. 6.3. Ian has the chuckles at the minute. Do you ever watch Chuckle Vision?
Of course I did. The Chuckle Brothers?
Chuckle Brothers.
Staple of my childhood. Well, that's going to be drinks. 33 for 3. 64 required from the final 10 overs here. And we're just going to take a quick break here. Have a drinks break ourselves. But yes, join us for the final 10. The Netherlands require 63 runs to secure their third victory here in the ICC Women's Qualifier Europe 2019.
And we're back here just after a quick drinks break. And the Holland team, Dutch team, need 63 from 10 overs. The run rate is just, it's creeping up at the moment. It's up at 6.3 at the minute. Just a change of bowling from the far end. The Scots have bowled very, very well up front. Clear lines and clear actions of what they wanted to do. And their fielders have certainly backed them up in the circle. And it's been a changed team. So unfortunately starting with a wide there up front. There has been a lot of wind around today. You might have seen from the camera. Unable to control that a little. It's very, very windy.
Now big shot over, and I think it's going to go for 6 here. Oh, just 1 bounce, 2 bounce, and it's actually going to stop before the boundary. That's that slow turf, slow outfield, proving a menace again for the batters here at La Manga. This is Maksud bowling her first over here. Well, another wide delivery here for Maksud. There's going to need to be a lot of encouragement around here. Just after the drinks break, and there's been a couple of wides and hit away. Oh, and just a nick off the bat there. And
Better ball, better line. Actually, a cry from the crowd as well. The Scots supporters let you know if you do good or bad.
absolutely, they've been very vocal throughout. Just pushed away there, and it's going to go through the covers, and there's a big chase here from Lorna Jack, and does very well. And just more runs now, and the run rate has been upped significantly.
Again, some really good fielding. They haven't allowed the Dutch really to run at them. Just about getting the 2. The fielders they have out at the moment are cow corner, deep square.
Well, Scotland are really going to need to grab a wicket here. The run rate has been upped. I'm sure that was the message delivered to these batters in the middle here. You've got to keep the run rate ticking over. It was sitting at 3, and they're really pushing it up now to that required run rate of 6. 57 required.
It's interesting to see what the bowlers do to each batter. They all have very different techniques. One likes playing down the ground.
Lofted drive. And it's gone for 4 there. Rachel Scholes couldn't quite get a hand to it. Down at long on. Well, I think the message has been received loud and clear here from the Netherlands batters in the middle. Push on. Let's get this done. Let's not allow Scotland to grab a hold of this game, and let's take control, and that's exactly what they're doing in this over here. Another run on the board there, and the run rate just creeping up, and now the required run rate's under 6, and that's a really, really strong over there for the Netherlands. 45 for 3.
I think that's
just going to wait for an update. Actually, it should be 46 for 3. There we are. 51 required.
I think Miranda actually holding the strike is a good option here. She's got more shots, very strong down the ground. Just keep on rotating the strike and not allowing these bowlers to get on top of them. And just really go for it at this stage. They're in the driving seat. They really should after winning yesterday. Scotland pull this one back. They'll go into the last game against each other, and it'll be really big decider then.
Just played behind, and there is no one down there at deep fine leg. Lorna Jack doing the chasing again, and does before it hits the boundary, and another couple runs onto the Netherlands scoreboard here. Met with due applause from the 10.
That's good running. Miranda realising she was the person coming back to the danger end, turning in, and just taking off again.
Oh, Scotland are really going to need to strike 48 for 3 right now. Beautiful delivery. And Maxud, and that's a dot ball there, and that's met with jubilation here from the Scotland side. Hit hard. It could be caught here by Catherine Bryce. No, it just falls short. Better length there. It was hit in the air. Didn't quite have the legs on it. So just a single Catherine Bryce ran in. She was on the boundary edge there at long off.
I actually think it was better. Well, it was better for Miranda there. She didn't connect with it fully, Ian. She just didn't get a hold of it. But I think that would have sailed straight into her hands. Just Samantha just adjusting the field. Just again, I tried to talk about this a few minutes ago, that two batters have completely different batting styles. And I think Samantha just kind of seeing that this batter likes to nurdle it around the corner and really making sure she has that covered.
Pushed hard. Oh, wonderful bit of fielding there from Katie McGill. Dove hard onto the ground and just stopped the ball from rolling any further. Catherine Bryce does a receiving throw. And that's the 50 up for the Netherlands. 50 in the 12th over. Sam Hago bowling. That's the dot ball, and that's the length they want to. Scotland are going to have to find some way of slowing this down. The Netherlands have come out all guns blazing after the drinks break, and we did say it can be used as this kind of motivational talk, and that's exactly what's happened here. Oh, and just hits the bottom edge of the bat there of Veringmeyer. Well, another 4 off the over there. It is below the run rate. But you have to say if they find the boundary. Now, Sarah Bryce and Catherine Bryce having a little discussion there. Sarah came running over to Catherine just to give her thoughts and give her intel on the batters. But all the Netherlands right now.
It's just chopping and changing. We spoke about this earlier on, and I think it's actually it's good for the game. Really want to see it kind of be a tight finish.
Oh, we were served up a wonderful cricket match yesterday. Went right down to the final over. I'm sure some of the viewers were watching yesterday on the edge of their seats, supporting either side, and it was a thrilling finish. Needed 12 off the final, 13 off the final over, and beautiful death bowling. We shoot it again, bowled, and Meksu grabs the wicket. And how important is that for Scotland? Abtika Meksu grabs the wicket. 51 for 4.
I love watching Ian when a wicket goes down. That was, she moved across the line there, trying to give herself some width to hit the ball to square, to the leg side, and unfortunately she was bowled around. Good bowling, and again the bowler hasn't really varied her line and length, so she just got it right on this occasion. I think the batter started to feel a bit of pressure. I just felt she had to kind of, play some of those bigger shots in.
I think that's been coming, and they spread the field right out there in that discussion. They had the cow corner, they had the deep square leg, long off, long on, and deep point. They moved the backward point away as well, and they tried to play that kind of flick around shot and mistimed it, and suddenly the bails were off, and that's a 4th wicket. And Scotland now will need to push on here. 46 required still by the Netherlands in the final 7.5 overs,
which is actually very doable. This is the young wicketkeeper coming into bat now. She came in yesterday and hit the ground running very well. I think actually she's someone that might come up the order in time.
Just the 41 deliveries to come. No, that's incorrect. My maths is wrong again.
Oh, God, Ian.
Oh, terrible. And there we are, wicket and a dot ball. What a start to this over.
Just interesting because different stages of the game yesterday, you've seen different players, different, I suppose, pressure on them. They play different shots, so it'll be interesting to see. I hope these batters don't go into their shell.
Well, this is Babette Leda just getting off the mark, and she performed wonderfully with the gloves today.
Yeah, I like
for the Netherlands.
I like how she goes. She's good wrist, good hands. I'm interested to see this this young girl bat.
One thing we haven't seen yet is the lower order of the Netherlands. And they're going to have some test here. Big shot down the ground. Lofted drive and finds the hands.
It's a fantastic shot. It really was.
Yeah, it was wonderfully played. Just step forward and lofted drive over the head of...
Yeah, it's in there. Let's see it.
It's Robin Riker on that shot there. Played again, and wonderful use of the wrist once again by Babette Deleda. I know what you mean, there's a classy action about her.
Absolutely.
I think she understands that the run rate just needs to keep ticking over here and picking up them possibly 4 to 5 and over. The run rate is required run rate, pardon me, is at 6 and over right now. Fuller delivery there and stopped by Chatterjee, standing at extra cover.
I think Miranda had been in for a good few balls as well, and maybe just a lot of the running had maybe started to just get a little bit on top of her, so this actually mightn't be a bad thing. In the sense sometimes it's just fresh legs coming in when you know that you're going to have to run for every single and really, you know, go for it. Really, I mean, it's a really, really exciting finish coming to this.
Yeah, we got a thrilling chase yesterday, and there's going to be a thrilling one here as well. 43 required of 42 balls.
Oh, well done, Ian.
Thank you very much.
This is what we wanted. Like, this is the sort of games you want. You know, this helps improve. Also keeps people very interested and looking in. It's great cricket to watch.
A lot at stake as well, as these two teams are vying for the top place in this qualifying tournament. If the Netherlands get it will secure qualification to the global qualifier held in Scotland. Scotland have already got a place there, but it will also give one of these teams a place at the global qualifier for the Women's World Cup, the 50 over competition. And that's going to be held in 2021?
Yes.
Yeah, no venue decided yet, but that's so, you know, it's this double qualification, a lot at stake, and it's a must-win game for Scotland now as they need to secure their second win after losing yesterday to the Netherlands. The Netherlands are going to get their third victory and put them in the driving seat for that top spot of the table. Thrilling finish here in La Manga. Just cut away. Katie McGill's going to do the chasing there. She's been very athletic in the field today. Really good fielding.
Straight away, Ian, you can see just the fresher legs. It's bringing on a 2. They've actually left. There's nobody out in the boundary on the offside. I think they're just adjusting that now. And they've got a long on back.
Yeah, it's Rachel Scholes at long. Katie McGill now at deep point. She's got a deep square leg. Strikes the pads. I think that was a half-hearted appeal there. I'm not sure if that was going anywhere near the stumps. But you hear the sound of the ball hitting the pad and suddenly the team rises. Every opportunity Scotland will take now. Just miss hit.
French cutting.
You said a French cut always deserves a run. It's your favourite shot. Oh dear. You said that with such delight, Kira. You know? Love it. 57 for 4.
There's that nurdle we spoke about, and she's actually got a pass so she could turn and go for 2.
Yeah, misfield there.
It's like maybe a little kind of hockey shot sort of thing, but it's effective.
Yeah, Ruth Willis with the misfield there, down at 45, and just kind of jumped on the ball and it rolled under her.
I suppose if you looked at it in just before the 10th and before they had drinks, Scotland would have felt they were on top. Holland have, come back at them.
Oh, and it could be a stumping. They're going for it, and it's not out.
Close.
It's very close. Sarah Bryce just displaying how quick she is with the hands there. Happened in a flash. Sarah Taylor-esque. They looked for a single there, and it's going to be a dot ball there. Finish the over. Well, 5 off it, and the run rate, required run rate, is creeping up right now. Scotland doing a very good job after having that costly over after the drinks break. They've done well to restrict it down. Abtika Maksud picking up a wicket. She'll be bowling again here from the scoreboard end at the ground here in La Manga. The wind has kind of died down a little.
Yeah.
That kind of evening sky is coming in now. A couple clouds in sight. Oh, it's wonderful.
Rough terrain.
Rough terrain, correct.
38 needed off 24. I always like to think of it that way nearly, because I just think it just makes it a little simpler. It just you know, like, and we went back to the 2 opening overs that the Scottish had, and they got 22 off them. You know, so if you break it down just like into 12 balls, and, you know, ball, I think it takes the pressure off you.
Absolutely. The overs seem a very daunting thing.
Yes.
6 balls in an over, so. Want to play for 59 for 4 here. There's the cut shot, falls.
Even if it's only 1, they need to really run it hard, tip in, come out, you know, show their intent, and see what happens. Scotland have fielded really well, Ian.
They've all been very busy in the field today. Lorna Jack's been a bit of a magnet. Advances down the crease, kind of mishits that, and I think she wanted the straight hit for 4 there, and it just falls to Kitty McGill and just picks up a single. You could hear it just hit the toe of the bat there. Grab another single. Abtika Maksud doing very well here just to slow the run rate down. More flies come and attack us here in the commentary position. Goes for the big shot. Is it going to be caught? Just falls short.
Oh, I think actually the big thing is there, 1, maybe not diving forward. It would have been worth the risk, but it's just giving away the second run there. It's a tough one.
Big words of encouragement here from all the players on the pitch.
Colleen, it's a long day for the Dutch team.
Hard in, it could have been out. Oh, you got to pick that one up, you would have to
That
think.
miracle shot again.
Yeah, just that flick off the wrist, but that's Ruth Willis in front of us, and you think one-handed pickup, go for the stump straight away. She's got Sarah Bryce there to maybe put it in.
Yeah.
That's the intent we're talking about. Well,
The shorter option, I think, is the better. It's going to travel quicker, obviously, and I think it's your better chance. There's no way you're going to run out someone from the far end unless they're a good while back. Justine, we arrived here at just near 9 o'clock this morning, or just after 9, and the Dutch team were here already warming up, and it's now 6 o'clock. So 2 games, and you know, like, it's a long day. But I suppose this is what T20 Cricket International is about, and really digging in and finding that energy and that fight when you really need it. You can see 32 needed off 5 overs. .32 needed off 30 balls in.
32 off 30 deliveries. Well, basically in the exact situation that Scotland were in yesterday. They played their double header, and then they had a game against the Netherlands, and they had to do a run chase here. Yesterday's situation where Scotland were all out for 120, well, not all out, so 123 for 8 after 20 overs, and the Netherlands and Scotland had to chase that down. So I'll mix up my teams, and Rachel Scholes is going to be appearing on the ball again. Hits the pads.
That might be slightly harder to get just at that angle. Just for the bowler, for the LB, but in that particular line, again, it's right, bring her back on and try to fight it up a little bit with that shot.
This is a big shot, just falls into the hands there. Could be out at the end here if it's a good stumping. They're appealing it, but it's probably not going to be out.
wicketkeeper being so tall and young and fast there helped. They just kind of got caught in the middle. Yes, no. Game show.
I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. Not bad. Sam Hager with the receiving. Well, that's what we're talking about. The intent in the field. They've got to force these runouts because the Netherlands will go for these quick singles. That's a wide ball there. They can't afford to give away the easy ones. Just sitting around the other side there.
Gonna come over.
She's just putting deep point. That's Katie McGill just gonna go stand at deep cover now. Played there, gonna run a quick single. Hard throw, could be out. Direct hit. Oh, an almost chance. Direct hit probably would have been out. It was a really good throw in there.
On that occasion, the far end was the way to go because the batter was so far out.
Really exciting stuff here in the ICC Women's Qualifier Europe 2019 if you're tuning in. Netherlands playing their double-header day today. Direct hit again.
What sort of shot was that in?
A toe clip.
French cut.
Was that a French cut? They're treating you right now, Kira. They're treating you. But yeah, if you're tuning in, Netherlands won the toss, elected to bowl first, put Scotland in. 96 all out in the 19th over. Big hit.
Oh, she's fine.
Catherine Bryce, the fielder there. Really good arm in.
Really good running.
Robin Riker, Babette De Leyder in for the Netherlands right now, and they're doing very well.
Robin Riker has played a good role here for her team. You know, she's kind of had she was slow kind of at the start, but just found her way in here, and is just playing a really, really good role. She's sending for water, I think.
Yeah, they're just both doing that kind of hand signal. Seems synonymous in cricket,
Yes.
just waving the hand in the air and a kind of slight squish of the air.
Yeah, I think they're being.
Are they allowed or?
Yes. I think they've been told maybe to get on with it.
Yeah.
There can be certain competitions, so it's not that easy.
Yeah, they are. No water here for the Dutch batters. Well, exciting finish here.
Just slowing it down a little bit. Just getting the field set right. This also just slows down the batter's momentum.
What they're doing is they're just putting Sam Hager here in square leg. And Catherine Bryce, the captain, is just going to go down a long off. He's not quite standing on the boundary. It's just because of the half attempts they've had in that area. Cut away, could be caught.
It's kicked on.
Ruth Willis just out of reach there. And they run another two.
Just got a lucky kick there. It hit backwards. They're able to get back for two.
Yeah,
24 required.
24 required off 23 deliveries here. Half appeal there for Hazal, and they
Some good backing up and movement off the ball behind. No buzzers wanted at this late stage.
This is very tight right now. They haven't found the boundary that much, and they've been running these tight singles, and they need a run rate of 6.5 right now. Is Scotland going to do what the Netherlands did to Scotland yesterday? And I think that's the right decision there. They're throwing the ball now at the challenging end, at the danger end here. The message is clear. They've got batters in hand as well, the Netherlands, so they can run these riskies. These risky ones, not these riskies. High in the air, and that looks like it's going to be 6. What a shot that is. Classy shot. Struck really nicely. Talk us through that one, Kira.
It was a fantastic shot. She just thought maybe just a little bit shorter and really just got under and she actually stayed so still. It was lovely to watch. I've definitely said her. She's definitely one to watch.
Scoop that up. Just played that square for 6. Delayed that. Moving on to 16. They said they weren't going for the boundary, and suddenly they found it.
Yeah, Delayda's only 19 years of age and good wicketkeeper too.
17 runs required from 3.2 overs here. The Netherlands look now in control of this run trace. It's amazing what a 6 can do.
Absolutely.
Changes the game completely. Just that. And again, just moves past Maksud, and they have to do the chase, and they managed to get a single in, and that's another run.
Again, I'm liking that approach. Okay, I'm not saying you can't get 2 6s in a row, but I suppose from an experience point of view, she just didn't get like an adrenaline rush and go for it again. Get a single or take the strike.
Now, it's 10 off the over so far. Brilliant stuff from the Netherlands. Stomping! No. Trying again. The quick hands of Sarah Rice not fast enough. Well, I think it's also important to say here, the youth that is on display. Babette Deleda, 19 years old. Robin Riker, 22 years old. This tournament putting a lot of the youth of women's European cricket on display, and they're flourishing in these pressure situations. It's so good to see. Well, 16 required of the final 3 overs. That's 16 off 18 deliveries. What a nice, exciting finish we have here for you in this Women's Qualifier Europe 2019. We've really been treated to some wonderful games so far. If you're tuning in, wherever you are watching from the world, welcome. Here in La Manga, beautiful setting. As the Netherlands are seeking to claim top spot of this table. They're going into the final day. Possibly secure a place in the global qualifiers that are going to be held in Scotland from the 31st of August into September, held in Arbroath and Forfarshire. Bit up north from me.
Will you be up there, Ian?
Of course I'll be up there. It's going to be great. Can't wait. So many teams on display. Ireland, Bangladesh, Thailand, USA, Papua New Guinea, Zimbabwe, possibly the Netherlands and Scotland will be there, as they got an automatic place with hosts. But it's also about securing a qualification spot for the Cricket World Cup global qualifier. McGill again slashed away. Megan McCall does really well to stop that ball. And another single on. Now 15 required here.
I've been really, really impressed with the lead today. Again, we did see her just briefly yesterday. Came out and hit the ball really cleanly, really nicely from the word go, and she's just done the same again.
And what a catch! They look like they've claimed it. And Maksud has taken an absolute beauty at extra cover. A low catch right at her feet, and she managed to grab a hold of it. I don't think she believed it herself, and she was the only one on the pitch that did, and she's taken a beauty here.
What a catch. They're really hard. They're just dying down in front of you, and she just got forward, got her hands underneath, and very cleanly taken. It was well done.
Well, Katie McGill gets a wicket in this tournament. And what a catch. We've seen 2 wonderful catches here from the Scotland women's side. A one-handed grab by Lorna Jack, and now a double-handed low take from Aftercat Maksud, standing at extra cover. A wonderful catch here for Scotland. They grab a 5th wicket. Has it come at an important time?
I think so, but you know what? I can't pick who's going to win this. It's just back and forth all the time. Momentum is changing every couple of balls. That definitely could be the wicket, though. That could be the changer. I think as well Scotland have used this experience they have. You know, the Bryce sisters have been around a long time. Katie McGill as well, and they're just slowing it down, and they're making sure they're not letting go of that ball until the field is set correctly.
Push forward. We're going to grab a single here.
You know, it's very clear and evident that Scotland have been working on their ground fielding, their catching, you know, their overall fitness, and they're looking a good unit here in the second half of this game.
Now coached by Stephen Knox. Former Harriets players are just going to sneak in a single. He's also the coach of the German national team, as Katie McGill took a diving catch to her left there, just to make sure it wasn't an overthrow. There was Maxud behind her, but always why not a bit of gymnastics in the air there by McGill. She showed that off yesterday.
She does. Any chance to dive around.
Field delivery, and no one's there. There wasn't the fielder. She says, oh no, raises her hand above her head. She knew that Catherine Bryce was standing at long off, pardon me, and not mid off. Half an opportunity there. It was just pushed into the air.
12 off 13, Ian. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Great minds think alike.
Absolutely. Field delivery. Whoa. They're going to run a quick single. Could be a run out here. It's out. And it's another wicket here for Scotland. That's the 6th wicket. The quick hands of Sarah Bryce. Grab a run out. 6 wickets now for Scotland. 85 for 6. With 2 overs remaining. 12 off 12 balls. Exciting stuff once again between these two teams in La Manga.
Ian, drink some water.
Don't embarrass me, Kira. Well, 85 for 5. As we all take a breath here. I think exactly what you said there. They really are not delivering the ball until everything is right in the field there. They ran a risky single. Toe poked it there. Was that a bit of nerves? Was that necessary?
Do you know what? The Dutch kind of were in trouble up front, and they got themselves back into this game after the 10th and 11th over. So it's there for anyone now. It's whoever holds their nerve in the last 2 overs.
Yeah, we're just going to see the scoreboard update below us there. New over and there's 6 wickets. If you're just joining us, there's 2 overs remaining and it's 12 off 12 balls here. Very exciting finish here in La Manga. These two sides serving up another thriller yesterday. 8 wicket victory. Catherine Bryce bowling. Clipped away. Ruth Willis, a lovely diving stop there.
That's a fantastic, and especially so late in the game, and just coming off the bat at that angle. 45 is not easy. She committed fully, and that's really good.
What was your fielding position, wasn't it? 45?
It was, Ian.
Oh, down the ground, straight hit. Maxud is just going to stop that. Restricted to a single.
But again, even if it's mishit, they're keeping these singles on.
Tries a big shot, and that's going to float away onto the leg side. Collected by Becky Glenn on the boundary there, and another single now. 10 required. Seems willing as the new batter at the crease here. 17 years old, and they're going to run a single. They do manage, and this is the effect they're going to have here. Scotland choosing to have the fielders on the boundary. Is that a good decision by Catherine Bryce? Should they have them in and restrict the singles?
Yeah, maybe for the last over. It's hard to... Yeah, it's a tough one, but I'm just so impressed with these 2 batters at the moment. These are 2 new girls that have come into the Dutch setup, 17 and 19 years of age.
Almost bowled there. Catherine Bryce, a wonderful delivery, and it's met with a wonderful response from all the Scotland fans around the ground and the Scotland team cheering on the captain here.
10 off 10, eh?
Plays the cut shot there, square cut. Lorna Jack does the collecting duties. Another single. 8's going to be required here. Or is it going to be 7, pardon me, off the final over. Just going to see.
Oh, it hasn't updated, so.
Yeah. Just going to wait for that scoreboard to update.
There's Esther coming again with no chocolate.
So, just a correction to the scoreboard below. It's 90 for 6. That means 7 is going to be required off this final over. Netherlands versus Scotland in this ICC Women's Qualifier Europe 2019. In La Manga, it's been a wonderful game of cricket again. These two sides, such a tight affair. 7's going to be required. It went down to the final over last time. We're just seeing meet, and it's going to be Katie McGill. Looks as if she's going to be bowling the final over here. We've got Catherine Bryson. Yanaz Chatterjee chatting through fielding settings here. I think, like I said, it's going to take their time.
I think the umpire's just double checking as well. Make sure the scoreboard was right.
Yeah.
So that's what slowed it down there.
As updated, 90 for 6, as you can see on the bar below. We've got 19-year-old Babette Deleda in on 21 off 19, a fantastic knock. And also now the 17-year-old Iris Zwilling.
For this final over, she's gone with a deep cover, mid on and mid off back, and a deep square leg.
And a dot ball to begin this. Scotland cheering that straight away. 7 required off 5 deliveries here for Netherlands to grab their 3rd victory in this tournament and go top of the table and secure that position into the final day. Plays a sweep shot straight into the hands. Could be a run-out opportunity here. Did they go to the wrong end there, Kira? There's bags of time, but they've just got a single. 6 now needed of 4 deliveries as I cut you off. Sorry, Kira.
No, not at all. I'm just about to say it was well backed up, actually, because they could have just gone for an extra run there. And everyone needs to be moving off the ball, ready to move no matter what.
Fuller delivery driven down the ground. Catherine Bryce is going to do the fielding here at long off. Another single.
Nearly sometimes some of these are nearly hit too well, Ian.
I think we're going to see a case here. They're going to run a final 2 and it's going to be, can they get the run out or not? 5 required now. Off 3 deliveries. Are they going to go for the boundary? Are they going to run the 2? Fuller delivery. It's just skate behind. They're going to run a single. There's a bit of confusion here. Well, now it's 5 required off 2. This has been really good bowling by Katie McGill right at the death here. Just going for the 2 so far. 2 dots, 2 runs. 5 required now. Scotland looking to grab their 2nd victory here in the women's qualifier. Just having a discussion here with Catherine Bryce. Supporters for Scotland on the boundary edge there on the far side. Thrilling finish here in La Manga. Once again between these two sides. In comes McGill. Tries the ramp shot, executed well. They're going to have to run 2 here. Has it gone away to the boundary? Big chase here by Ruth Willis. And they have managed to get 2 in.
What a fantastic shot by the youngster. Delayed has definitely batted well. I like seeing this as well. They're just having a chat in the middle. Ian can't even breathe here. He's so excited.
Well, they're having
what a fantastic shot to pull out in such a...
The confidence that
exactly.
would take
yeah.
in this, right, you know, 2 balls remaining. And she played that and she executed that so fantastically. As we're just seeing this Scotland players depart there. There was a meeting of minds here for Scotland. 3 required off the final ball. is going to happen here? One delivery to come. Scotland looking to grab their second win here in the women's qualifier. Netherlands, if they hit a boundary or run 3, they've got the 3rd win. It's gone hard, and that might run away to the boundary. What a fantastic shot that is.
She's got to turn.
Picked up. They've got to turn and run free. And they've got the wicket. And Scotland have grabbed the win here. A little bit of confusion in the middle.
Yeah, they have.
Have they done it? And that's it. That's the win for Scotland. Scotland have secured it, and it looks like it's going to be a 1-run victory, as you see us on camera right now. For the first time. Not a very pretty image for the viewers. But there's just a little confusion there.
They
have grabbed the victory. They only ran 2 there.
Yeah, they have.
And there's muted celebrations. And they're going to be clapping off here. And what a win that was for Scotland. They've managed to pull off. And you're going to wait for the scorebar to update. Again, a very weird atmosphere. Something very reminiscent of that Jersey-Germany game in Guernsey at the end of that men's qualifier. But Scotland, and the anthem is being sung out by the family over there, as you see the players walking off right now, and they've grabbed a 1-run victory here in La Manga. Kira, talk us through that final shot.
I just don't understand why they're not celebrating. I don't know. It's a very odd feeling to the end of the game. She played again, another fantastic shot. Again, we spoke about the speed of the pitch. On any other pitch, that would have been gone for 4. It held up. They pushed again for the 3rd. She came out of the crease and she was run out. So, off the last ball.
Well, actually, it's a super over here. We've just had confirmation. Take back everything we've just said. We've just had confirmation that a super over will be played. The scores were tied.
Okay.
At the end. Well, misleading information here from your commentary team. And it will be a super over. That has explained the muted celebrations. I'm sure some of you watching at home will have spotted that straight away. Well, it's turned from a thriller into a more dramatic finish. We're going to get a super over here. Netherlands versus Scotland. Wowee. We're just going to take a quick 2-minute break here. And we'll join you for the super over. Well, welcome back to the ICC Women's Qualifier Europe 2019. This is Netherlands taking on Scotland in a very dramatic match here. Now, we're just awaiting confirmation here of whether a super over will be taking place. There is discussions with the match officials and the scorers and the umpires just to confirm whether the super over will be taking place. We are led to believe that it is happening. The scores are level after 20 overs here in the Netherlands, battling hard to get 97 runs. As the Scotland team is in a huddle there, encouraging themselves. They've played so well here, but it's been the most dramatic of finishes here in La Manga. Kira, talk us through your emotions.
Emotions. I didn't know what was going on for a few minutes there.
It was very confusing.
It got very tense, and I suppose the 2 runs at the end counted, and that they've drawn the game at the moment. So super over comes into play, and as you can see, both teams are in a huddle. I think that the Dutch are going to come out and bat first. And it looks like Stair Callis, and I just can't see the other person at the moment. So they'll have an over to put on as many runs as they can, and then Scotland will have to come out and chase it in just 1 over. Yeah,
apologies for our bafflement and the tie there. It was just due to the fact that we thought they well, for my commentary position, I speak for myself, I was unsure whether they had completed the 2 there. It turns out they had completed the 2 and then ran out as they were attempting the 3, and that has caused the tie. And that's why we've just confused the commentaries. We're just going to await confirmation on the super over here. We do have the 2 Netherlands batsmen or batters there standing on the sideline.
I'm interested to see, Ian, who they go with to bowl this. Do you want pace off the ball? Do you want pace on the ball? They fielded really well. They just need to continue that momentum they've had in the field all game.
Well, it looks as it's all go ahead now. Very absolute confusion in the commentary box there at the end of that game. It was a thrilling finish here at the ICC Women's Qualifier Europe 2019. It's serving as a qualifying tournament to get to the global qualifier for the World T20 in Scotland, but Scotland have already qualified for that, so Netherlands vying for their place if they manage to get this win here, and also acting as the qualifier for the Women's World Cup, the 50 over competition, which will be the global qualifier, which will be taking place in 2021. So we're just getting
so it's Heather Seegers and
also Stair Callis as well that are going to be going out. So we're just going to tell you that there will be graphic bar will not be there for the super over. We will be talking you through it throughout. So we just see the Scotland team huddle up again. I'm intrigued to see who they're going to go for bowling wise.
Just getting some information here. As you can see, the batters are just walking out here. As Ian had just filled you in there, we're here for a super over.
After much confusion here, not thinking it was a tie, thinking they'd grab the victory. They've got a super over here in La Manga. Just to inform you, there won't be a score bar at the bottom of this. Just an issue with our graphics right now, so we'll be talking you through this one. Bit of radio commentary as well as TV here. If you're tuning in, Scotland versus the Netherlands. It provided drama yesterday with the Netherlands grabbing an 8-run victory over Scotland in their first match, and then they grabbed a big victory over the newcomers to women's international cricket, Germany. So it's going to be Catherine Bryce, the captain here, electing herself to bowl. I think that's a sensible decision after her bowling performance today. So what will this will be? This will be, talk us through how a super over works, Kira.
They put on as many runs as they can, and then Scotland will try to come out and beat the total.
So each side gets 1 over,
Yep.
6 balls, 1 bowler. Is it 3 batsmen?
It's just 3 batters are nominated. They decide, then the 2 come out and they lose a wicket.
That's a dot ball to begin the super over for Scotland. Heather Seegans and Stur Callis is the batter facing right now. Hit a wonderful century against Germany. So they're going to pick up 1 here to begin with.
This will bring the crowds back in.
The crowd's back.
This is what we wanted, though. It's fantastic, and I think it's been to kind of an evenly matched game. Twos and fro's.
Well, there is a crowd here at La Manga. The German side is watching from the sideline as well. Composure, and they've managed. That's just shot through the covers, and we're going to have Maksud doing the fielding duties here. Just collects 2 as well. He's picked up 3 so far from 3 balls. Catherine Bryce, it's a difficult art bowling a super over.
Yes.
Kira, have you ever been a part of one?
I've fielded in one. I haven't batted or bowled. I totally agree. There's definitely a knack to it. It's like bowling in the depth.
Almost stopped by Catherine Bryce into her hands. They're going to manage another single here as Eva Seegers just pushes 1 straight on there. Bounced off the hands of Catherine Bryce.
2 balls to come.
4 off it. Now it's Stern Callis. Tries to go very large there. Rachel Scholes come running in from long on. It does hit the stumps, but
It's really good running.
yeah, they ran a hard 2 there.
Yeah.
6 off 5 deliveries in this super over. Do you play strategic here and try and go for another 2, or do you try and go big?
Just one connection on the ball. Just get something on it and run.
Struck, they're going to grab a single here. Could be a run out if it's a direct hit, and they've not out, signaling the umpire. They grab that. Well, 7 runs from the Netherlands in their super over. We're going to see who the 2 batters are. Catherine Bryce, all the tight line there, restricted them to no boundaries. Went dot, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1. Very well bowled by the Scotland captain, so they're going to require 8. They're going to take this victory here. Well, being applauded off there, Heather Seegers and Stur Callis. Stur Callis departing for a low score against Scotland. And a thrilling finish here. It's funny actually, the wind has calmed down for the first time in the day. It's almost like the weather's playing with the atmosphere of the ground right now. We're just going to take a quick 2-minute break as we're just going to wait for the Scotland batters to pad up here. Stay tuned for the finale of this Netherlands versus Scotland encounter in the ICC Women's Qualifier Europe 2019. Well, we're back here and you just see the Netherlands now in a huddle. Welcome back to coverage of the Super Over, Netherlands versus Scotland. A dramatic finish once again. This European encounter here in La Manga. Ian Leggett here with Kira Metcalf. And we just saw the Netherlands get 7 with Stern Callis and Heather Seegers batting there. So how does Scotland approach this? They've got to score off every ball.
They do, and I'm just more worried about the line that they choose to bowl. And
I'm intrigued to see.
They just have to, yeah, it's who are they going to bowl and just go for it.
Oh, they look very pumped up here. And we're going to see Sarah Bryce batting. Now, this, if you're tuning in and just catching the tail end of this is a win that will mean an awful lot to both sides. It's a must win for Scotland if they want to continue and try and finish top of the table here in La Manga. But the Netherlands, if they grab this, they're only 2 games away from securing a place in Scotland for the global qualifier. So it looks like it's going to be both the Bryces here, Catherine Bryce and Sarah Bryce, with the pads on. And there's a flower of Scotland being sung around the ground here at La Manga. Thrilling finish here in this encounter. If you're viewing, I hope you've enjoyed the game. Certainly have from the commentary position. It's been tense, it's been tight, it's been some wonderful cricket. We've seen some wonderful catches, some wonderful batting today as well. We knew it was going to be a tight affair. We're seeing Catherine Bryce, and it's going to be Sarah Bryce just on the right of your screen there, just running off, who's going to be facing the first deliveries here. And we're just going to get the bowler's name. It's going to be Van Bocha, who's going to be doing the duties for Netherlands. Pushed away, and it's going to be a boundary. 1 bounce 4. The first ball. Pulled that away in a 1 bounce 4. It was just almost maybe 30 centimetres away from touching the rope there for a 6. But what a confident start there by Sarah Bryce. 4 on the board for Scotland, chasing down 7 here in the Super Over.
Yeah, just too short there. And she did the right thing. The fielder's in. And as you said, it was very close to being a 6. They're completely on top now.
Big cry of come on Scotland from the parents over there. Misses it. That's a dot ball. She tried to play that pull shot again, just round her hip, and ball came in a bit more pace there, and it looked like it zipped up by the bowler. Van Bocha was delivered very well in this match. Driven hard down the ground. Going to grab a single here. Stir Callis, the receiver there. That long off. Now it's Catherine Bryce's turn. 5 on the board. Needing 8 to grab the victory here. If it's a tie, then they'll go back, reverse the balls, and whoever was in the lead by the 5th ball, and then the 4th, and so on. Cuts it. It's gone deep. Are they going to run 2 here? They're just going to stay for 1. 6 on the board now. 2 needed off 2 deliveries for Scotland to grab the win. 1 will tie the scores.
I can't even watching.
Tense stuff here in La Manga. Sarah Bryce facing Van Bocha here. Can Scotland do it? Can the Netherlands hold on? Cut away, finds point. Could be a run out here. Big appeal, and it looks like Catherine Bryce ran in time. Well, now the scores are tied. 1 delivery to come, and it's going to be the captain of Scotland, Catherine Bryce, with her sister at the crease here. 1 run to win the Super Over and go 2 wins from 2 here in La Manga. Just meeting in the middle there, and you see Van Bocha on screen, just Floating the ball in the air. What's she going to do here? Scores are tied. The Scotland side linked arms on the sideline there. They know this is a must-win game for the Scotland women's side. Boa into Catherine Bryce. Hitched away. Gonna run a single. Misfielded. And that's the win for Scotland. They've secured the Super Over. 8 runs there. And they've beat the Netherlands here in La Manga. They've secured the victory. The sisters hug in the middle there. That's the Bryces. What a wonderfully executed Super Over there. What a game of cricket, Kira Metcalf. We can finally get our breath back here. Oh, we've been treated to a show.
What a fantastic end to a great game. It's gone back and forth, and both teams are in control on different occasions throughout the game, but I think Scotland deserved the win today, and it's actually just set up the whole week very nicely.
Yeah, well, it's going to be Germans. They're going to take a rest day here, and then it will be Germany that'll be having the double header. And these sides have played 2 wonderful games of cricket. We'll talk you through this Super Over again. A 4 off the first delivery from Sarah Bryce, and pulled away for 4. 1 bounce 4, then a dot ball. And then it was just 4 consecutive singles to get them 8 runs on the board. As the Bryces return to their teammates, and just high fives all round. Well, I think it's only appropriate we talk through this game of cricket, Kira. Let's just have a look at the batting card here for the Netherlands. Well, the massive wickets at the start there. Sturk Alice, Heather Seegers, and Denise Van Deventer departing for a duck. Catherine Bryce grabbing 2 of them wickets. An unbelievably fast start there from Scotland, and they took the driving seat right from the off.
They did, and it's funny because the Netherlands feeling they actually picked up a lot of wickets early, and they were in the driving seat, and they let the Scottish girls go on, and they got 96, 95, 96, and they were thinking, oh, that's an easy total to chase down, and it proved to be too big. But it just went back and forth. Scotland were in control, then the Netherlands, and but all in all, there's been improvements on both days. And it's really set it up for the end of the week.
Yeah, they really played a fantastic middle order knock there. Robin Riker and Babette Deloda.
Just mentioning again, just on that, there's 2 youngsters again, and especially Delede, the wicketkeeper. Definitely one to watch, and just the way she goes about her game. 19 years of age, and just her technique. It's definitely going to see her well in the future.
Really shone throughout, and this is the bowling card here for Scotland. Catherine Bryce. 3 overs, 2 wickets, and the 4 runs. The 1 maiden, and also the Super Over at the end, going for 7 runs. Did really well there, and a couple notable performances from Rachel Scholes. Katie McGill bowled fantastic at the death, Kira. At the end, when it was very tight, restricted the runs and limited the Netherlands side.
She took that last over and just really, I don't know, she's a gutsy player, so it was nice. And if you just look where the wickets fell there, and the fall of wickets just in, the areas 82, 85, and we had nearly a hat-trick as well. So it's just been occasions where the Dutch let it slip away today. But I think all in all, it's been a big day for the Dutch. They've been out since 9 o'clock this morning. It's nearly 7 o'clock at night, and I think I think the Scottish deserve the win in the second match.
Absolutely. We've been treated to a wonderful game of cricket here as the cheers and the Scotland 10 are happening over to our side. And on the left-hand side of your screen there, well, there's a wonderful view of the landscape here in La Manga. And it's been a wonderful day of cricket. We saw an encounter between the Netherlands and Germany and a fantastic century from Sturk Alice. But then we've been treated to an absolute thriller here in the evening in La Manga, where Scotland have beaten the Netherlands in a Super Over. Thank you so much for watching, and tune in, not tomorrow, but a day's time, for the final days of action here at the ICC Women's Qualifier Europe 2019. This has been Ian Leggett and Kira Metcalf. We hope you've enjoyed.